Oh crap! I was talking to myself this whole time. All right, freaking welcome, guys. My second stream. Ricky, R to the Icky, great to have you here. Uh, Phil Raid, you guys are awesome. I don't care if I'm being raided or not. I got some people now. This is gonna be fun. Hey Fade, how's it going today, man? Goonies, my apprentice, great to see you. R to the Icky, Ricky, great to see you over here. See if anybody else shows up. Yeah, we were watching old Phil playing a banana suit. Was that Fortnite he was playing, guys? Tell me in the chat if you know if he was playing Fortnite or what game was he playing. Yeah, sorry to late notice. I overslept this morning. I was gonna promote it and do all that good jazz. Just waiting for some more people to come in so we can talk some. Well, it's gonna be a two-part. Talk some Spider-Man, and then I'll give my predictions for the WWE pay-per-view for tomorrow night. Okay, so it was Fortnite. All right, really cool, really cool. Boo, Fortnite, Apex Legends. Yeah, I heard Apex is really good. I'm not the biggest Fortnite fan. Of course, I'm not a shooter. I like RPGs, sports, this type of stuff, and racing games. Like I never really got into Call of Duty for the simple fact that that's kind of what I did when I was in the army. So, what's the main event for our tomorrow night? Okay, I'm glad you brought this up. Uh, the main event for tomorrow night is Brock Lesnar challenging Roman Reigns for the Universal World Title. That should be really good. Hopefully, we get the finale, and then that's it, and we can move on. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the whole card so we can do like full predictions. Okay. Yeah, it's both shows though, so we're gonna have usually he's the main event. Uh, hey Phil, just give me a second. I'll get you on here. All right,
Well,
welcome.
Ole, how are you doing, pal?
Doing great. How you guys doing? I saw you dressed up as a banana playing Fortnite. I think.
I wish. I wish. Once
Nate, my
they have the
producer, what's going on, man? Sorry about short
hey,
notice. I
hey
tried
Nate,
to
how's
I
it
tried
going?
to message you, Nate, this morning, but I understand. Being the creative genius that you are, sometimes you'll sleep in, or you won't sleep at all. There's one time where me and Nate talked for hours upon hours upon hours, and I was like, "Does this guy ever sleep?"
Oh yeah,
Goonies coming in with
yeah.
the jokes.
It's been a while, Goonies. It's like it seems like forever since we last talked.
Fruit night.
Fruit
Yeah,
night.
it is all good. Bradley, what's going on, Bradley? Great to see you. Awesome to have you here. Bradley is from the community that me and Max are. Well, Bradley makes his rounds. He's all over the place. And really cool guy. Freaking great to have him. Me and him have debates on Venom. So he's perfect guy to come in for this topic today. We have debates. He's not a Tom Hardy Venom fan, and I respect that and understand. I am. So, but overall, great guy and great to see you in the chat. All right. Hey, Faith.
Playboy Phil.
Playboy Phil.
That's gonna be a meme.
You as well, Bradley. It is awesome to see you here. The more people, the merrier. We're trying to build this community up. Only my second stream, so no Zeno yet.
Your stream yesterday was great. It was really, really great.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Like I told a lot of people, I was only trying to go like 30, 40 minutes. We ended up going 3 hours. But see, like I'm not gonna be like these other people where I just cut people off in mid. I'm gonna give everyone, if you're a guest on my show, I will give you time to talk. As much time as you want. I'm not gonna. The thing, like I was talking to my mom last night, and she's like, "Yeah, the thing that pisses me off about the news channels is that they only give them like 30 seconds to a minute to talk, and then they cut them off and say they got to go." I'm like, "Yeah, that pisses me off too." So on my channel, since I have the ultimate say on the creative, when I have you on as a guest, you will have the time to talk and to get your point across. I'm not going to cut you off, and I'm not going to end the stream early. As long as you guys in the chat on the panel want to talk, we'll talk. I don't care if we go 6 hours, 8 hours, 3 hours. We're going to have a great conversation. As long as you guys want to put up with me, we'll be here.
I'm like the same way too, overall.
And that's a good trait to have. I don't like Tom Hardy Venom too. That's fine. That is
you don't
like I understand. Just like let's always keep the talk respectful, like we did yesterday. That was perfect. Like if you don't prefer him, even if you like Topher Venom, that's completely fine. I respect that. We can show respect and have a healthy debate and not like trash each other, because I've seen some toxicity in other chats, and we ain't gotta have that. We're all cool. We're all friends here. You can like your favorites, and I respect that. Your favorites don't have to be my favorites, and that's fine. Like we're all freaking fans of the same thing at the end of the day. We just got who different favorites are. All right, Aim of Fate says, I like Tom Hardy as Venom. I don't like Venom without Spidey origin. Okay, I like that. That is very good point.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of like weird that we got a Spidey, like Venom without a Spidey origins as well.
Well, the whole thing was Sony, Spider-Man was their hero for so long. All right. And I'm going to do another stream later because Andrew, I want to have him as a guest because we're going to be talking about the Raimi trilogy later on. But this is like a general, just talking anything Spiderverse, any era, whatever you guys want to talk about. Tell me who your favorites are. Tell me who your least favorites are. Like, we'll go all over the place with this today. But
my personal favorite has to be Tobey Maguire, and
yeah,
that's
a lot of people's favorites. Andrew, that I'm going to have on next week.
Oh yeah, that's because he's introduced me into like. Since they introduced me because I knew of Spider-Man, but his Spider-Man's the one that actually got me into Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like,
what year were you born? How old are you again? I'm sorry.
25.
Okay,
so like,
25.
I was a kid when the first one came out.
Yeah, so was I, but I was an older kid. You're 9 years younger than me, so yeah, I could definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I grew up in. I was born in '87, so I'm 34. I'll be 35 in April. Uh, and freaking, I grew up in the '90s, so the animated show is what got me into it.
See,
So
I did
like,
watch the animation.
I judge Spider-Man based upon that '90s animated show, which I thought was very good. Uh, Toby is one of my favorites too, but it wasn't just that. It was like the whole booking, that whole storyline. Like we got a guy in Max's community named H. Barts, and he is a Defoe fan, and I love Willem Dafoe, and thought he was an amazing Green Goblin. Like
I believe it was Amazing Greek Goblin as well.
I don't, and that was the problem I had at the ending. They killed him. I mean, like, why couldn't you have done a Batman and locked him up? Like, freaking, because that's someone you could have used later on, and you could do some really good stuff with. But it's fine. I loved Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. Spider-Man 2 is
Yeah, I like
probably
him
my
as
favorite.
Doc Ock too. He was like
Out
one
of
of the best villains I've ever seen.
mm-hmm, straight up, my sentiments exactly. Like Doc Ock was probably my Spider-Man 2 is probably my favorite. Out of all the Spider-Man movies they've ever done, Spider-Man 2 is probably like, and normally it's not that often where I like a sequel compared to the first one. But yeah.
See, my favorite, my top three favorite Spider-Man movies. Two of them is a tie in like the for me. So like Into the Spider-Verse is number 3, and then second place is Spider-Man 1 and 2, and then in first place is No Way Home.
Yeah. I haven't seen No Way Home. I've seen the spoilers. Sounds really good, and I cannot wait
Yeah,
to watch it.
without giving spoilers away, like I said on my stream, I think they like do nostalgic right, and I
Yeah.
think they do, like honor the old, keep the new, and beautifully blend the old and the new together while still respecting the set characters that they brought in.
Yeah.
So I think like if you like didn't like if you guys weren't a fan of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, for example, this will give like I don't like to use the word redeem in this case, but it will redeem his version of Spider-Man in some
I don't
people.
like that. That's the thing. I didn't think it was that bad.
I don't think it was
I know it. I know it sucks that they killed Gwen Stacy, which that would have been cool. Spider Gwen, obviously, but the freaking I thought it was pretty good and showing an origin story about his actual parents.
yeah, I
I
actually like
thought
that.
for me it was more relatable. I mean, like for the longest time, there was no reference to Peter's parents whatsoever. And like, was he a baby when they died? Like, why would he never even ask about his mom and dad?
Well, the
Like,
only reference that we got in Tobey Maguire Spider-Man about his parents was really about when the last conversation that Peter had with Uncle Ben when he snapped at Uncle Ben when Uncle Ben said, "With great power comes great responsibility."
yeah, but he said you're not my dad, and
You're not
that
my father. Stop acting like you're my father. And that was like really the only reference that we got
mm-hmm,
in to Peter's parents in the Tobey Maguire movies.
yeah,
So I like I did like you enjoyed getting to explore a bit Peter's parents a bit in the Amazing Spider-Man.
yeah. So Bradley says it'll be interesting to see what they do with symbiote, especially after No Way Home. Yes, Bradley, I totally agree with that. I
Hmm.
cannot wait. I love like that's my Bradley and Phil and everybody. That's my favorite part of the Spider Verse. Like I love the symbiote. I love the whole storyline. I love freaking Null as this father creator that since the symbiote because he wants to take over and he's this big bad. Uh, I love the whole symbiote storyline, and all the symbiote characters are probably some of my favorite, like Venom, Carnage, Scream, all those. Like, uh, yeah, Michael Riot. My son loves Riot. But,
How did you feel about the whole black suit thing in Spider-Man 3? I love emo Toby too.
freaking Bully Maguire, dude.
I
I did not like Topher. I
I
thought
know
that that
this
really
gets a
didn't
lot.
look like Venom. I did not like his portrayal of the Venom character. I just was not a fan of Topher Venom.
Now I
Sandman, I didn't
agree.
know much about, but seemed like Thomas Hayden Church is a really good actor and did good with the role.
Mhm.
I did like James Franco taking the mantle of Goblin. I'm like that made sense to me, passing it down and how the ghost of his father manipulated him because the whole trilogy, that's what Harry wanted was Daddy's approval.
Mhm.
And I have a brother and I have two sisters and I'm the baby. So I get wanting mom and dad's approval and trying to prove and want acceptance. I got that and that was completely understandable. Uh I didn't care for Topher Venom. It was too
See,
whiny. And I
I
know Eddie Brock can be whiny, but that was just like over the top for me.
see for me, I like at the time I did enjoy his Venom only because I did not know much about Venom. So at one of my first viewing, I said, okay, this is pretty good Venom. But then after like, and keep in mind, I didn't really watch like I think the Spectacular Spider-Man show is my favorite. Was not out yet by the time Spider-Man 3 came out, but that's my favorite version of Spider-Man in terms of cartoons. And after seeing like uh the Spectacular Spider-Man and like the '90s Spider-Man shows, was both shows had Venom in them. I rewatched Spider-Man 3 just so I can get like a new perspective or try to on Venom with
Yeah.
me knowing a bit more about Venom. And I have to agree, I did not like the Topher Gray's portrayal as Venom as much afterwards.
Yeah, and I like him as an actor. I like Topher Grace as an actor, and I used to watch that '70s show. But Topher as Venom just I didn't care for it, and I'm a huge Venom fan. So
Now I know like emo Peter gets a lot of crap, but I so loved him. Like especially the whole dancing part, the first dancing part, when he's just dancing on the street, just doing that whole like winking at the ladies, and the ladies give him like weird looks. I so love that scene. And then when he comes into the building and comes out and just randomly dances,
mhm.
I so love that. I so love that. Like I know that might be cheesy as hell, but that oh my god, I love that.
Yeah, like freaking, he got that thing over. First of all, and second of all, you want to tell a story with the symbiote. You want to show what effects it has on somebody, especially someone that it's trying to taint and give a little more attitude. So the things that Peter would normally never have the balls to do, the symbiote takes over and he doesn't have a filter. And it shows the effects of what happens when you don't have a filter, when you don't care, when you're just doing whatever. Like, so yeah. So I was fine with freaking Bully Maguire, emo Toby. Like, I was fine. It's just the Topher Venom I didn't care for. Okay, Bradley says MCU needs to learn not to kill their villains off so fast. Thank you, Bradley. Amen to that. Exactly. They they need to learn not to. They come off, and it's like that's what people would complain about the Batman movies. All the villains would get killed off. It's like let it breathe.
Well,
Every. I'm
I
sorry.
think the Nolan Batman, like the Dark Knight, at least had at least one of the villains not die, which being Joker. But
And Scarecrow.
and Scarecrow too. Yeah, you're right, and Scarecrow. But they definitely used Scarecrow in the Dark Knight Rises. But yeah, with no wanting to be respectful to the memory of uh Heath Ledger. I think that's why they didn't use the Joker.
You want to talk about what if situations? What if he wouldn't have died? Because I heard they were going to use him in Dark Knight Rises.
I've heard the
That
same
would
thing
have been
too.
really good.
That would have been cool. I think he probably would have took the Bane role if Bane wasn't going to be in there. And maybe I could be wrong, but like maybe Bane would have been in there, but he would have had as of a prominent role as he did if they did use the Joker, in my opinion.
Okay, Goonies brings up a really good question. What do
What
you
do you
guys
guys
think of the Green Goblin and Amazing Spider-Man movie?
see?
So, are we continuing the backstory, or are we doing another one? And is Willem Dafoe going to be uh, playing the role of Green Goblin? Because
But no,
I know they had the
what he means,
prototype for that new suit.
yeah, what he means by that is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie, how there was Harry Osborn becoming the Green Goblin because he was dying. I think knowing that they were planning to use have Amazing Spider-Man 3, I'm okay with them using a little bit of Green Goblin, but because they were planning, I think they were planning on using him a bit more in Amazing Spider-Man 3. But of course, we all know that never happened.
Yeah. Okay. All three Spider-Man are great in their own ways for sure. Yes. And that was something that I made a point because our friend Andrew, he's a huge Toby fan, and he doesn't particularly care for the other ones just because Toby meant so much to him from a personal note, and that's fine. All right. I try to be the optimistic perspective. All of them contributed something to the Spider-Man character. Are they all perfect? No. And everybody has their favorites, and that's fine. Like our friend RJ, he loves Tom Holland. Like that's his guy, and that's cool. Personally, I was not that Tom Holland's a bad actor, great actor. I just didn't care for him as Spider Man, and not because his portrayal. It is because of the writing of the story in general. Uh, I like the original three because I was in the ninth grade when Spider-Man One, Tobey Maguire came out, uh, and we our high school class watched that. So it has those memories, and that was my favorite. And I love the villains. I love the writing in it. I thought it was great. I like the Andrew Garfield, the two Amazing Spider-Mans. I know a lot of people like at the time didn't care, but I liked them. I thought it was fine. Uh, I thought it gave a different take. The Tom Holland one makes Spider-Man look very young, and there's certain elements I like. I liked Vulture, Homecoming. I loved Homecoming because I finally got to see Michael Keaton, my guy, play a villain in a superhero movie, and that was just so freaking cool. Like, so I might not be the biggest Tom Holland Spider-Man fan, but Michael Keaton's portrayal in Homecoming, that's what hooked me on that movie.
See, I'm in the wagon where I think I really enjoyed Tom Holland's Spider-Man the most in No Way Home because it's him evolving into the Spider-Man that he definitely needs to be without really having to have any mentors. Really, like he did in like the first two Spider-Man movies that he was in.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
But no way home. Like it's got everybody and it's got everything. Like that was the saying. I personally don't feel that Spider-Man should be taking orders from people. I feel, and I know me and Nate have talked about this behind the scenes a lot, is that he should be his standalone, his own person, because that's what Spider-Man has been. And we feel that MCU has tried to diminish or bury that character to prop up the Avengers. And for your like Sony Marvel fans like myself, you're old school. Like we look at these characters a certain way, and to try to
Mhm.
diminish the value of that character to make Iron Man look cool, or to make Thor or Hawkeye or any of them look better, I don't think it's right. You can elevate everyone. You could elevate the Avengers to be on the
See,
same level as Spider-Man without diminishing Spider-Man, because Spider-Man was a lot of our childhoods. Like I compare Spider-Man to like working at McDonald's for us Americans. Like it was just like a rite of passage kind of thing. Growing up in the '90s, if you were a Marvel fan, you were either into Spider-Man or X-Men most of the time because that's what was promoted. And if you were DC, it was either Batman or Superman. Like you'd have to pick one or the other, but guaranteed most kids are either going to have a Spider-Man as their favorite. The Spider-Man was the guy in Marvel for a long time, just like Batman was the guy in DC. And like so that was the big hero. And like to see Spider-Man kind of getting bossed around by Iron Man, it was kind of disheartening because we think Spider-Man is just so amazing, and like especially if you watch the animated show and the original movies, like he didn't have anyone directing him or telling him what to do. He had the memory of his uncle and positive influences around him that helped give him advice. So
see, here's my stance on that. I was okay with him kind of taking orders in No Way Home, only because, like, since he's kind of been doing it, it was established in Civil War that he's been doing this for a bit. So I was okay with like Iron Man, uh, being like that mentor type thing, like telling him what to do, so he can try to like. Because I think that is initially was a way to make Spider-Man better. Now, could they have done it where it didn't feel like Iron Man was like dunking on Spider-Man? Sure, but I
it
think by the
just
time,
felt like they were trying to like, especially with the suit, like
yeah,
they were trying to control him a little bit.
yeah. So I like like definitely to a certain extent, I have to I like there's a side of me that's definitely with you on that part.
Yeah,
But I also think that No Way Home, even though he was working with like Fury or that Kree that looked like Fury, spoiler alert. Uh I think yeah, that would have been a movie where Spider-Man definitely took more like manners more into his own hands besides like getting bossed around in that movie.
yeah.
Like I believe like sure take orders still, but start to see like okay, Tom Holland Spider-Man's becoming more independent.
hmm Definitely agree on
And
that.
that's I feel like that's why I like Spider-Man 3 or well the MCU's version of Spider-Man 3 a bit the best because
Yeah.
we can see Spider-Man, yeah, getting mentored here and there, but for the most part, taking things stuff into his own hands, like be more independent. The Spider-Man that we initially love.
hmm Yeah, I completely understand. Hey,
Mhm.
gaming. I hope you're doing all right in the chat. Sorry, chat. It's taking me a little while to catch up. We're having fun talking Spider-Man here. All right. Bradley says, I want to see that scene that was cut with Andrew meeting his dad. Me too, Bradley. That would be freaking awesome, dude. All right. I
Oh
love
yeah,
that comment.
have you guys seen that on YouTube? The deleted scene.
Nah, I want to, though. That would look really cool. I'd love to see that. Any newer type storylines that's still okay, it's all canon, obviously, but freaking to see stuff like that you normally wouldn't originally see, that's like a different take, I just think is amazing and fresh. And yeah, I love it. Bradley says, Bully Maguire is cinema. Yes, sir, it is. I like that. And then the pizza time meme from the end of Spider-Man 2 and he's unmasked. I like the pizza time meme too. Like that's pizza time's probably my favorite one.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Bradley says, I've noticed a lot of people highlight the negatives of Spider-Man 3, but there's a lot of good stuff there, to be honest. It's not as bad as people say, in my opinion. Well, you're right, Bradley. I did not care for the Topher Grace part, but that's the only part that I didn't care for. The rest of it I thought was fine.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did like how they. I think one of the best parts of Spider-Man 3 was they had Sandman be like. I know this kind of like
oh,
it's
yeah,
kind
that's
of
another criticism, how they had the Sandman as kind of like the
the
guy
murder
who freaking
Ben.
killed Uncle Ben and stuff like that. I
But
didn't mind it.
Here's the thing. I liked it for the simple fact that sure that was that was a horrible thing Sandman did, sure, but it was a nice character development for Peter because in this movie, Peter learns comes to the in the end he learns to forgive Sandman, and I think that took a lot of balls on Peter's part to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I enjoy, or I shouldn't say enjoy, but I was a fan of them doing the whole Uncle Ben got killed by Sandman because it was good character development for Peter.
Yeah, like my thing is, and it's like what Bradley was saying earlier in the chat. They just kill him off way too quick. Like the person who in Spider-Man 1, when he kills that dude off right off the bat, like you could have drugged that out. You could have
True.
drugged that out, and I think it would have done better. Like as soon as he finds out the person responsible for carjacking Uncle Ben, he goes after him. Then they're in the top story of that warehouse, and then he starts fighting him. And yeah, I'm like, that was way too soon to kill that guy off. You could have like put him in jail or some stuff like that, and then he could have gotten trial, and then gotten a really good lawyer, and then gotten out, and that could have set Peter over the edge, and or some stuff like that.
Yeah, that would been a good even if the Goblin took over Norman and freed him. I think that would be I think you're right. That would be a good character development for Peter in Spider-Man 1.
Zachariah says, "Who remembers Macho Man Diggit and Spider Man?" We all remember Macho Man Goonies. All right, freaking that was one of my favorite lines, but I don't think that it would get over now because all the PC identity politics stuff. Now he said, "Oh, that's a cute dress. Does your husband make it for you?"
Oh, that was my favorite line. That was so my
That
favorite
was
line.
freaking hilarious, but I guarantee you that would, unfortunately, that would not work nowadays. All right, Zeno's here. I knew he'd show up eventually. Nate says Tom Hardy Venom is okay, but just need to be serious. He is starting there. Like if you guys have seen Venom 2, uh, I'm pretty sure everybody has at least at
Oh,
some
I
point.
have.
All right, and I'm pretty sure because it's on YouTube, the post credits scene.
Oh
That is
yeah,
a
yesterday
glimpse.
when we were doing the stream, I was watching the post credit scene and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Yes, that's your glimpse. Everybody's been wanting. Oh, I want this Tom Hardy Venom to work, but I want him to be serious, and that is your glimpse at serious Venom because he's starting to explain why he's a Joker and why he does these funny things and why he's comedy all the time. Because you start to see it in Venom 1 with him being like the black sheep of his family and him kind of being an outcast compared to the other symbiotes, and why he uses comedy because how they bullied him and freaking treated him like garbage for so long. And then when he says to Tom Hardy that about all the multiverses and that it would blow his insignificant little brain if he were to show him everything. And then they do the time travel and it goes after Peter. But that glimpse into the symbiote Venom getting serious and telling Tom Hardy that Tom Hardy Eddie Brock that if you saw the things that I've been through, it would blow your brain. That was like oh, we're getting serious now. Finally, there is a potential or a nugget of getting serious in this. And it's explaining why he's funny and why he does the comedy stuff. Because the stuff that the symbiote has been through is so horrifying that he has to use comedy to deal with the trauma. And I thought that was very interesting. I may be wrong, but I feel like we're eventually going to go serious with Venom. So those people who want serious Tom Hardy Venom,
I
don't
feel
fret.
like I feel like Venom 3 is current. Like I feel like that. Like if they want serious Venom, I think that will be the one. Um, where we will see Venom taking more of a serious side besides a comical one.
Hmm. I think we're going to start. I think, especially with them in the MCU, because I'm a Sony Marvel. I love Sony Marvel, and I love just about everything that they put out. So, and I've been a Sony Marvel since I was a kid. So I love Sony Marvel, and I I understand they were trying to create a good guy because at the time MCU had full control over Spider-Man, and they still had control over the Spider-Verse. So they wanted to create their hero, and they were trying. They've done good. Universally, Venom has gotten over. Yes, for the hardcore base, and I am part of the hardcore base. That's not traditionally, but I think Tom Hardy has done a better job with Venom than Topher did because he's making money at the box office. And like it's getting, especially with the kids, it's getting over. Especially, I call it Kool Aid Man Venom
Go
because
ahead, man, Venom.
when he goes, "Oh yeah, yeah," like so yeah. But I understand, and I get the criticism. Being more serious, yes, would be more authentic to the character, and I think they'll go that route now that they have the working partnership and they can use like your Andrew Garfield and your Toby Spider-Man. I think that we're going to get back to a more traditional Venom because you're starting to see the seeds of it in the post credits. Uh, so I think you guys are gonna love what we see. I want a Venom 3. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna be like these Snyder people and say, "Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen."
I
I have
think
hope.
there's a
No, I
possibility
would
of
like
it
to see
happening.
it, but if it doesn't, then I completely understand. So,
See,
but I would
how would
love
you
to see a Venom 3.
how would you feel, Josh, if we get Venom 3, but the Spider-Man in his universe would be the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man?
That's fine. I don't mind. We get a Spider-Man and Venom. That would be different. We've already seen Toby in Spider-Man and a Venom.
Yeah, that's why
Uh,
I figured like Toby and Venom would be, unless if it was like in a separate universe where this Toby Maguire Spider-Man has nothing to do like really
like that's the
the other
thing,
one
and
we've seen.
that's the thing, and that's why I can't stand the freaking the
Multiverse.
Phantom Menace people. They want the sequels retconned. You can't retcon something that's already in your freaking brain. All right. Like we don't have the power of the Thanos snap, buddy. All right. So it's never gonna work like that. Like
But
if you don't like a movie, don't course correct and try to erase what's already done. Try to do something that is done a little better. So we haven't seen a Venom and the Amazing Spider-Man, and like you said with Andrew Garfield, and to see Tom Hardy Venom react with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, I think that'd be cool. Like I
yeah,
would,
and with the like Phantom Menace, they kind of like, I think their argument with the whole retcon thing is because this kind of still goes into the whole multiverse talk, which is why I'm bringing it up. Uh,
yeah,
the whole road between Rose episodes where
yeah,
Astro literally say like rips Ahsoka out for like little timeline fighting Vader, essentially saving her. And if he didn't, she would have died. So like I think their view is okay, you open up a multiverse. We did not like this sequel trilogy. Can we get a redo? Since you opened up a multiverse. And to that extent, I can kind of see that, but at the same time, it could ruin the whole Star Wars brand. Spider-Man
I can.
is a
Okay,
unique situation. That's
okay. I'll
it's
do. We'll have to
multiverse.
limit the Star Wars talk, but I'll do it for a couple minutes. All
Yeah,
right. The thing is, you can get certain elements. You can use that portal within a series to give Ray a backstory or to course correct some things of that. But you're not going to get a new trilogy. And certain people ain't going to get fired. That just ain't going to happen. The best thing we can do is hope and pray that people will change for the better
right.
because they have the potential. Sometimes people can see the error of their ways and get better, and I believe in that. Some fans out there, like the Menace, don't believe in that. It's all doom and gloom, and we're done for. And as long as if this person doesn't get fired, then our product is going to crap. And that's not true because you got to look at the results and the evidence. The evidence speaks for itself. If you put the right people in charge of these creative decisions, it can happen. Like your Kathleen Kennedy, she does more than just produce a show. She runs an entire film company that does movies, games, TV, all kinds of stuff. So she is good at running the company from a business perspective. The best thing she can do when it comes to these shows is say, Favreau, you're really creative. Filoni, you're really creative. Go ahead and do your thing, guys. Go make us some money. Come up with your creative. We'll put it through. And I think that's what's happened with Mando and then now Book of Boba. I love the first episode. And
Same.
my wife went ape shit over the first episode because she likes Boba, especially with me getting her involved in the freaking Galaxy of Heroes game. But when, and now that it's daytime, I can say it, when the end of Book of Boba episode 1 freaking ended, she was like, "No!" Like she screamed to the top of her lungs. She was freaking. She absolutely loved it, and I did not expect her to be that hooked. So that was really cool to see.
Oh yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that's the best thing we can do. As long as we got good people, like I think with the sequel trilogy, Kathleen had to run a lot of stuff. It wasn't just the business side. She had to freaking come up with creative. And I don't think that Star Wars is really her forte as far as like being creative and coming up with the different characters and that kind of stuff. And it's okay. Not everything not everything is gonna be for everyone. And that's understandable. Not because not everybody's perfect. So what? Kathleen Kennedy isn't very good with creative with Star Wars. That's fine. She is good with hiring people and finding the right people to do creative for things. She has a track record of hiring the right people and being smart enough to know when to find creative people who were really good at it. She did it with Indiana Jones. She's done it with a ton of projects. So that is what she's good at. So let's freaking accentuate the positives. In wrestling, Paul Heyman, he's a manager now, but he used to be a wrestling promoter, and he always said accentuate the positives and hide the negatives. And so they have done that with Kathleen Kennedy when it comes to Mando and that type of stuff. Her negative is that she's kind of a feminist and she can rub people the wrong way. And she's not the most creative. Her positives is that she makes really good hires. When it comes to hiring people, she makes really good hires. So let her do that. Let her hire the great people and put them in these positions and let them stand on their own and they do well. Very well. So yeah.
That's actually a pretty good side the stance that you took.
hmm I did a lot of research on it, to be honest, because I didn't know much about Kathleen Kennedy, and then so
Mm.
I had to do my research, and I went to a bunch of channels, watched their content, went online myself, and
Mm.
All right. I'm trying to catch up on the chat.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. Yeah, Hank as
He's Zeno's got to be trolling.
restore
Zeno's
the
got to be trolling.
Snyderverse.
In the name of Bradley, I want to say restore the Snyderverse. Is Bradley a Snyderverse guy? I'm not sure. He said, "Oh, so it's got to be funny." Well, that was more of a troll than Nate. Nate hates the Snyderverse. You guys take care of this bot. They probably did.
I
Zeno's
I
all on that
actually
shit, dude.
I did enjoy Man of Steel, Wonder Woman. Of course, it's not. I enjoyed the Snyderverse of Justice League more than the Snyder Cut of the Justice League more than the Joss Whedon's. I did enjoy Aquaman and Shazam. The other movies were like all right or in my
Yeah.
opinion. And Batman vs Superman was pretty decent. That was, in my opinion, one of the better parts of this Snyderverse. But I do say they should have kept the death of Superman towards like the end of Justice League One, like the Justice League movie. So that way we could get to have like his resurrection in Justice League Two.
Here's the thing. Okay. Uh, I didn't like BVS for one big reason. I don't want to see Batman and Superman fight, and I didn't want to see it in that movie. I wanted to see Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck kick Jesse Eisenberg's freaking ass. All right, that's what I wanted to see, and I had such level of disdain towards that Lex that I wanted to see them team up. I know it's Batman versus Superman, so yeah, they gotta fight, but I don't want to see that. The two biggest superheroes in DC history are Batman and Superman. All right, and I wanted to see them team up. I wanted to see them like a duo, freaking kicking butt, and freaking I didn't get that, and so like the rest of it just kind of like sucked. And that
See,
might be my own personal preference, and I completely understand that. And I know
I
my
would
friend
enjoyed
Enosh,
seeing them work together more.
yeah, I know my friend Enosh and a lot of people like BBS, and that's cool. But for me, it's just like, especially after they threw him in there, and then you got Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman's trying to play Peacemaker, and I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I think she's great,
Mhm.
and so, but yeah. All right, Bradley says I feel like they should have recasted Heath for Dark Knight Rises, but at the same time, I don't because he's so damn good.
See, I
Uh,
think, like I said, I think the reason why they didn't was because Christopher Nolan wanted to be respectful to the memory of Heath Ledger, which is why Joker wasn't in Dark Knight Rises.
yeah, I agree both those, but um, you could have recasted him.
I mean, it's kind of like
Has
the same
has
thing with.
there has there ever been anyone to play Joker that was really bad at it?
Not really. Not that I
Uh,
can recall.
they all had their own take on it. Okay, so we had Jack Nicholson, amazing. Then we had Heath Ledger, amazing. Uh, we had Jared Leto, which was a different take. He was good. I didn't hate it. If you're into traditional Joker, then yeah, I gotta understand the criticism. But he wasn't bad at that role. And then what's his name? The one who did it in Gotham,
Oh yeah. He was also in
Cameron Monaghan, I think his name was, or something like that.
I'm gonna look it up because I know he was in a Star Wars game too that I played. Uh,
Fallen Order.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was him who played Cal Kestis.
Yeah, Cameron Mon. You were right. You were right.
Yeah, yeah, and he was. I thought he was really good because he started playing like Heath Ledger type Joker, and then went into the Jack Nicholson Joker towards the end.
Yeah. See, it's kind of like the same thing that they're doing with Black Panther. Like they're not going to recast T'Challa. They're going to hand down the mantle of Black Panther to someone else. Just
Oh my God, Xeno's being funny now.
Batman: The Dark Knight Rises.
Batman: The Dark Rises. Weekend at Heath said this shit.
Wow.
He
Okay.
said this is why I would have liked a veteran age Spider-Man story. Yeah, you might still get that, dude. I think they're gonna do another Toby eventually. Uh,
I would love to see Spider-Man 4 and Amazing Spider-Man 3, especially with like I know that they were planning to have Amazing Spider-Man 3, and from what I've heard, they were planning to have three more movies after Spider-Man 3. But I would love to see at least one last movie with Tobey Maguire being the star, where we get like a quote unquote proper ending to his Spider-Man.
hmm
Like maybe
And
by the end of the
Zacharias
movie he has a kid, and maybe like he has a kid and he's ready to like he meets like a Miles Morales. Maybe this first of Miles Morales gets bit by Spider-Man, leaving the door open for Toby's Spider-Man to like yeah, sure, mentor Miles Morales so that way a bit so that way Toby can step back from the Spider-Man mantle, be a father to his kid with Mary Jane.
yeah. All right. Zacharias says, Josh, have you played the Spider-Man games on PS4? Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales. I love them both. Me too. And yes, I played Spider-Man for PS4 fully. Amazing game. And then I just started playing Miles Morales. I got it for Christmas for the PS5. And I've seen that. I've seen the Spider-Verse movie. I like the game storyline better. I think I think the way they do the storyline for Miles Morales in the game is a more mature adult level style because it shows him as a teenager and that kind of stuff and Peter mentoring him and then Peter has to go away so now he's on his own and it really like passes that mantle up and the Miles Morales game is amazing. And if we do a live action movie with that storyline a little more serious, I think Miles Morales is going to be a hit. He's already got a huge fan following, but that you give me a live action Miles Morales and do that type of storyline from that Miles Morales game, I think will put it over the top.
They did tease Miles Morales though in the No Way Home.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
I'm not gonna tell you which reference, but they do
That's
tease
fine.
him in the movie.
Like I'm a thing. Spoilers don't mess with me because I'm just
Uh,
hearing about it. There's a
oh
huge
yeah, I'm
difference
just
between
doing
hearing
that for
about
the
it and
chat
seeing
too.
it.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying it for the chat who doesn't might not want me to like, who might
Oh,
not
that's
want to
cool.
know when does a pun to Miles Morales is, but they do make a pun to Miles Morales,
Oh, cool. That's
and
awesome.
like if you're like a hard like die-hard like Spider-Man fan, or just know that there's a black Spider-Man, yeah, you'll get that reference,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Hey, Andrew. Andrew's here. He says, I think Toby, in my opinion, is the only one who captured the essence and spirit of Spider Man. Well, yes and no. Yes, it was the best portrayal because Raimi got to make his trilogy. I think the writing as a whole in the other Spider Man movies weren't what we know as. Like, the blueprint, the standard for me is the animated show. So I think that the original trilogy captured that. Amazing Spider-Man was trying to do a new take on it, and I don't think they got to fully tell their story. I don't think you can tell an entire story, especially a superhero story, off of two movies.
Which
And
is why I feel like,
I didn't think about it at first, but I really want a third Amazing Spider-Man movie now.
and I do feel like this Spider-Man movie, the new one, definitely opens up the door for there being a Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4 and Amazing Spider-Man 3, because like I said, it does quote unquote redeem Andrew Garfield for like to some people, which I hate using that word because I thought that he was good, but it does create that re-added interest in Toby and Andrew Spider-Man. Which if they want to make money, they could easily make Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4.
Yeah. All right, Nate says, can we say Sandman transformation was incredible? Okay, Nate, the Sandman transformation was incredible.
Yeah, I do like the Sandman's
Ellie
transformation.
agrees. All right, Andrew says, my top favorite versions of Spider-Man, Toby, animated series, spectacular, PS4 video game, Ultimate Comics. Yeah. There's a
Oh,
lot of versions. I look at every Spider-Man as a piece of a pie, and you need all to make the full pie, and or a puzzle or whatever you want to use. And without, it's incomplete to just say one and done. This is it. Rest suck. Have a nice day. No,
oh, Josh, have you seen the Spectacular Spider-Man show?
no, but I want to. I've heard it's pretty good.
It's really, really good, and that show ended way too soon, in my opinion.
That's not a typo, is it? Goonies. Imagine in the multiverse, we got to see Michael Jackson as Spider-Man. What? So he could go, Jimbo.
Well, you did hear that Michael Jackson was wanting to buy the rights to Spider-Man so he can play as Spider-Man.
Oh, dang. I didn't know that.
So I think that's where Goonies is referencing.
Okay.
I have him at number 2 with Toby. My number 1 is Toby. See, my number 1 is Toby for sure. My number
It's,
2,
it's, it's a lot of people's, but I like to. I I've seen them all, so it was like, okay, they did that well, and then they did that. I
and
try to look
apparently,
at I try to look at both sides of it, not just.
the Toby Maguire Spider-Man isn't even the first live-action Spider-Man movie. I mean,
Yeah,
live-action Spider-Man actor.
yeah. I guess I just like to look at the positives, to see what we can see what we can take out of it instead of like just dunking on stuff. Because
Apparently,
my vision is I want to create a non-toxic environment, and
apparently, there was a live-action Spider-Man actor before Toby, but this one I'm referring to was a TV show version.
oh, okay. Yeah, they were
I
talking
think
about
it came out in like the 80s or 90s. I gotta look it up more.
yeah. Gooney says, I want to see a Miles Morales movie. You, me,
Yeah.
and I think half the world, Goonies, all right? We want to see the Miles Morales. We love the character. Eventually it'll happen.
And
All in good time.
I think they did do a good job introducing like the character, both the Spider-Man PS4 game and No Way Home. And not No Way Home, sorry.
Yeah.
Spider Into the Spider-Verse. I think they introduced uh him good in the Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man PS4. Hey Chuck.
Hey, Chuck, how's it going, buddy? Uh, he says, we got, no, I'm not talking that kind of
No,
movie.
what he meant, Andrew, is like a live action Miles, not a
Yeah,
animated
we're
or video
talking,
game.
we're talking like we, me and Zakaria and a lot of people, we want, we want like a Toby style Miles Morales. Not a
Because like
funny, not a comic strip movie, not an animated film. We want a live action, straight up box office, Sony or MCU, preferably Sony Spider-Man movie.
with
We
Miles
want we
Morales
want
being the lead.
promotion like Venom and freaking Tom Holland and all those other Spider-Mans they've got. We want this to be the big freaking deal, and it will be a big deal. Like that's the kind of with all due respect, that's the kind of Spider-Man movie we want. We don't want animated. We
I
we
mean,
want
don't get me
Miles
wrong.
as a
Don't get
big
me
freaking deal.
wrong. The animated Miles Morales was good, and we're getting a sequel to that. And so
Yeah.
we're not hating on the animated. We just want to see Miles Morales in live action.
Miles Morales in the animated was okay. I'm not big for animation though. I like it, but it
Oh, I enjoyed it.
yeah.
But like I said, I think animation is one thing, but if we see uh hit Miles Morales in live action, I think fans like you and me, Josh, will have reactions of when I remember seeing Ahsoka in live action for the first time. Like I would be in awe, and I was like, yes, especially if they do it right.
It says Sammy G or Sammy Guevara is the Spanish god for Miles. He, I'm just gonna say it like this because I'm not trying to sound bad. He's not dark enough. He was Miles Morales is mixed race, and he would need to be a little more darker than Mexican. I'm part Mexican, so I completely understand.
Who would be your
No,
dream?
no, cartoon Miles is not fine. Everybody has wanted a Miles Morales, and not to dunk on any other Spider-Man, but like the fan following, and this has been going on since 2018. Uh, Everyone has wanted to see a live action Miles Morales. That is almost unanimous. I don't care who your favorite Spider-Man is, who your favorite Marvel character is. Universally, I would say about 95% of fans want to see a Miles Morales. It doesn't even matter if it's going to flop or not. We just want to see it done. Like, you're talking, you got a bigger fan following for people who want to see Miles than you do for Snyder fans. Like, the fandom and freaking wanting Miles to become live action Spider Man is it's growing and it's freaking huge.
See, here's my stance on your comment, Andrew. I do agree that cartoon Miles is fine, but at the same time, I'm with Josh on this one. Even though cartoon Miles was fine, but seeing live action Miles, oh my god, that'd be great. That would be awesome. So that's my stance on it.
He said, Goonie said, I always wanted to see a Willem Dafoe as Joker. Oh, that smile? Heck yeah, dude. See Dafoe's an older Joker, that would be cool. I'd like that.
Mm-hmm. As long as he doesn't isn't the Joker in the Arrowverse, I'm good.
Yeah, guys, you're talking about wrestlers playing Miles. That ain't it, dude. He's got to go darker, man. You just got to look at the character. I mean, if you want to talk about a wrestler that I think would be an amazing Miles Morales, Cedric Alexander, for all the wrestling fans out there, I think that would be a good Miles. Because he's in his early 20s. He looks like Miles Morales from the Into the Spider-Verse and all that.
Yeah, I've been trying to think on who I would want to see as Miles Morales played. No actors are coming to mind for
Chuck
me.
D, no, we haven't seen it, but we're gonna talk about the wrestling stuff in a little bit, buddy. But we're starting out with we're just talking about Spider-Man's, all kind of Spider-Man's, the movies, what it meant to us, and who our favorite characters are, and then who would like to see do a movie. And so I want, and there's a big fan following for Miles Morales. It's not just the animated, it's live action, it's a lot of stuff. And a lot of people, since especially with the video games coming out, with Miles Morales being in those, Miles Morales has got a huge fan following across the board. And you want to talk about diversity and having a black Spider-Man and it not being an SJW thing, it being organic. Miles Morales would be perfect because everybody loves Miles.
Oh, and he also was in the one of the Spider-Man shows that I dislike, which is the Unlimited or Ultimate Spider-Man. And it's
Yeah,
Unlimited Spider-Man, which has Jake Bell as Spider-Man, as the Peter
uh,
Parker Spider-Man. And I know, like in that show, they kind of dealt with like the whole multiverse, Spider-Verse a bit. And I know that they brought in Miles Morales in there too. I don't know how that version of Miles Morales is, probably because I haven't watched the show.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, like it's just Miles is cool, especially like the powers that he's got and stuff. And I like his storyline that his mom works full time, freaking, and they're trying to make up for the loss of his father. And like Miles, I love the storyline. It's got similar storylines, but he's got like a mentor, so he's kind of like Nightwing, where he started out small and working his way up. And so I just love the storyline, and I would love to see it in live action. That'd be so cool. And the thing is, he's mixed race, and me being part Latino, I relate to that as well. And and with Miles, everybody likes it. So you're not shoving it down anybody's throats. There's no identity politics PC about this. It is a mixed race character that is beloved by fans on the mainstream, and that you could do a live action movie and nobody'd hate it and everybody'd love it, and it would make No Way Home money, in my opinion. So
yeah, I see where you're coming from. Like I don't know if you consider this as mixed race, but I'm like part American and then part Haitian as well. But so like
well, that would
I
be that would be nationality, but
yeah, okay, yeah. So like regardless if like my point was like I like nationality, mixed race,
yeah,
whatever.
same.
I can see where like people like you Josh is coming from because like it's organics, not forced, like you just said. What more can you ask for?
Oh my God, I'm sorry to cut you off, Phil.
Willem
Eamon Pate
Dafoe
says
Joker.
Willem Dafoe Joker would be cute.
Wow.
Cute, cute, funny but cute. So good.
Oh,
Uh,
have you seen Josh? Have you seen on my I think it was on my Christmas stream when Zachy Melon's puppet was flirting with a feet?
uh,
No, that was awesome.
Zachariah says, "What about Booker T's Miles? Booker T, if he was younger, maybe, but Booker T's like a little old."
Yeah, I gotta see a picture of Booker T. I'm not too familiar in who that is.
Oh yeah, Booker T is awesome, but I think he's like in his 50s now or late 40s. So I think he's a little old to play the role.
Oh, he's a WWE player.
Yeah, he's a Hall of
Okay,
Famer.
so yeah, he's unless it was like also older Miles Morales, but Booker T is
I
in
just
his late
I don't
50s.
know.
He's 56 right now.
Yeah, see, so and Zeno says, "Really?" Oh my God. Nah, they got to be trolling Zeno. I agree with you, but again, Zachariah says, "I five five times WCW champion." I think he means 5 times. Nate says exactly. Yeah,
Oh, I'll be back. I'll be back. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
yeah. Go ahead, man. Yeah, it'll be interesting though to see where they go. Speaking of Spider Verse, you guys seen the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer yet? I saw it the other day. Uh, I thought there were ups and downs with it. I'm not a big fan of WandaVision, so her being like a big focus in that, I wasn't a fan of. But the rest of it looked pretty cool. See a doppelganger Doctor Strange was awesome. Uh, So yeah, if you guys let me know if you've seen the trailer. Was it good? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are you guys talking about now? Nate says I would like Booker T as Shocker. I don't know. I mean, like, you can't go to all the dinosaurs to get them to play the villains, all right? Like, it works sometimes, but. Bradley says, loved how the trailer felt like a Raimi movie. Oh, yeah, because he's going to be doing that one. Yeah. Yeah, it did kind of. I didn't think about it at the time, but looking back, yeah. Nate told me that Raimi was doing it. I was like, oh my God, that's going to be cool. Because I know how Raimi does his villains. And for the most part, every time he does a villain, it's a freaking hit. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to Multiverse.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, we were talking. I was asking, have people seen the trailer? What did they think? And Bradley said, loved how the trailer felt like a Raimi movie already. And it was like, I didn't think about it at first. But yeah. Fate says, Shama Gorath as big eyeball creature. Is that Dark Side 2? What's DS2 trailer? Chuck D says, Stone Cold as the Vulture. What is the deal with you guys wanting these dinosaurs to play all the villains? All right. I know it worked for Goblin and Doc Ock, but come on. Oh, Doctor Strange too. Okay, Fade. I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, Doctor Strange too. Okay, that makes more sense. Sorry, I literally woke up 15 minutes before I did this stream. So if I sound like I'm high or an idiot, I definitely apologize. I do have intelligence.
Yeah, Josh trying to steal my role.
Hey, I don't steal your role, all right? I didn't take the hot dog Ewok. That's still yours.
Sure, so I'm still the
resident. You still need a bra.
How do you feel? Like, what's your favorite Marvel character?
Punisher.
Mine has to be a tie between Spider-Man and Black Panther.
My favorite superheroes, and I like Spider-Man and I love Venom and stuff. My favorite superheroes are the ones who don't have powers and have to use things that any of us could use to freaking to be a hero. Everybody's like, oh, Batman's cool because he's got all the gadgets. I'm like, no. Batman is cool because he is a master detective.
Right.
It's like, do you eat a cake for the frosting? No. The frosting makes it hella good. But you don't eat a cake for the frosting. You eat cake because the cake's good. Frosting is just a prop. It just makes it a little bit better. It's an extra bonus. And that's what all the gadgets and everything is. If you took all the fancy crap away from Batman, he would still be badass because it's Batman and he's a master detective. All right. And yeah. And I like Punisher. Punisher didn't have no fancy gadgets or superpowers. He was a SEAL or recon. He did the Desert Storm stuff. And he was a badass and he was special forces military. And his superpower is that you couldn't kill this dude. Well, you could kill him, but people are so sloppy, they're not very talented at it.
Right.
And freaking so he had to use his own skills that he learned as a human to be able to go toe to toe with all these bad guys, and that's what I liked about that. Chuck D says, "Dinosaur, son, don't make me stun your ass. If you want me to give this son of a blah 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 a stunner, give me out." Funny Chuck, funny Chuck. I'm 34, so
My parents are
I'm not a
dinosaurs.
little sunny, but
My dad's in his 60s, and I call him a
yeah.
dinosaur and a fossil.
I'm not gonna say boomer. I think this is a stupid term.
I call him a boomer too at times, just to troll him.
And Bradley says, "I want to see John Bernthal come back in the MCU." That would be cool, but do you think and I want everybody's opinion on this. Do you think it really worked? Because I loved Punisher. And I love all the Netflix series. Punisher was my favorite though. I'm a huge Punisher fan. I got a tattoo of Punisher on me. So yeah, Punisher is my absolute favorite character, period. Out of any superhero, Punisher's my number one. And I loved it. I loved the greediness. I loved that they went back to the comic. I thought that John Bernthal was amazing as Punisher. I like Tom Jane too, and I thought Tom Jane was my favorite Punisher, period. And then I saw him come in as Punisher, and I'm just like, that's my number one now. So number ones can change. If someone comes in and they do such a good job in the role, in an iconic role like the Punisher, then it can always change.
Mm. See, I enjoyed it. I will be open to him to come back, but I don't know how they will treat him.
Rhino is Rhino. You're funny, Fate. My favorite Marvel hero, Wolverine, the cartoon version. Yes, Wolverine, original X-Men, OG X-Men was amazing. See a lot of people are agreeing. Fate says it won't be a R-rated Punisher. It depends. Disney doesn't go all freaking bubblegum pop PG on everything. They have had some gritty movies. Yeah.
I would love
They've
to see
had some gritty movies. It's not that Disney can or won't do R-rated content. I don't think they've been put in a position where they've had to. And I think with Punisher, they might have to.
I mean, people seem to enjoy Deadpool, and that was rated R.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, so they can do it. They can do it when they have to. It just depends on the demand and if they're willing to do it. I think if you have enough, imagine if we did how the Spiderverse has done their movement. Imagine if we did that movement, but for more grittier type of content, like the Punisher, like Daredevil, how the Netflix series did it. Imagine if we could have a positive impact, give us more grittier superheroes, give us more an adult serious role, and less cartoonish and more like that. But do it in a healthy and positive way. I think it could be very beneficial. Chuck D says Chuck Norris is the Punisher. Again, with these freaking dinosaurs, man. Just kidding. If you want to see Chuck Norris as Punisher, I'd go for it. Chuck Norris is amazing. I'd be up for anything. Iron Fist sucks. Nate, you suck. All right. Iron Fist was awesome. No, I'm kidding. Nate, you're awesome.
Actually, I have to agree to this. Out of the Netflix Marvel shows, Iron Fist was the weakest. But with that said, I would be up for them to bring him into the MCU because maybe he could be more of a they could handle him better with him being officially part of the MCU.
Yeah, it was
Um,
just like it took elements from a lot of superhero characters and wrapped up into one. But I tell you what, I liked his storyline better than Captain Marvel.
oh,
I'll tell you that.
Captain Marvel was in for me.
I didn't care for Brie Larson.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't really care for Brie Larson too, and then for a while I was saying that was like the most boring and worst MCU movie for in my opinion. But then Eternals came out,
it's
and I
like
had a really hard time concentrating watching Eternals.
yeah, it's like Twilight. Was Twilight a bad movie? No. But did freaking Kristen Stewart capture me anything? No, because in my opinion, she's boring. She didn't really
Wait,
grab me. I
whoa, whoa,
loved
whoa, whoa.
Robert Pattinson in the Twilight movies. He had a compelling character. Yeah, it was glitter or vampire, and as a vampire genre fan, I'm a super fan of that. Freaking, it was kind of an abomination, but freaking for what it was, I thought Robert Pattinson was amazing, and that's why I can't wait to see him in the Batman. I think he's an
Wait,
awesome
you're
actor. I love his work, and but yeah, like freaking Captain Marvel just didn't grab me like that.
wait. So you're telling me you're hating on Bella? How dare you, Josh? Bella's bad. Just wait up.
Oh, my wife gives me the same crap for it. She loves Twilight movies. Yeah. No, I liked Iron Fist. I thought it was fine. I thought it took elements of Bruce Wayne. I think it took elements of Peter Parker. I think it took elements of every top superhero and tried to wrap it up. And yeah, it's not the greatest superhero. It's not the X Men. It's not stuff like that. But like for a brand new character, I it had a story that hooked me a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. There were stories in the Iron Fist show that it was interesting. It's just I think, like I said, out of Netflix Marvel shows, I think that was the weakest. But I think it can still be improved on. Like,
Chuck D says Twilight sucks a huge bag of True Blood.
what? Chuck, you too? How dare you say Twilight's bad? Cancel him just right now.
Oh, they're all ragging on this crap, dude. It's okay. You guys' opinions are welcome here. Uh, Goonie says, I'll be right back, my emperor. Well, I appreciate it. You're awesome, Goonies. Nate says, Twilight is trash. Yes, there, the storytelling, I did not agree. But Robert Pattinson did the best he could with the material he had. We got to give it up for Robert Pattinson. He tries regardless of whether, and it did put him over the top. Because as much as I like Robert Pattinson, Cedric Diggory was not going to get mainstream Hollywood. It's like, yeah. And freaking Twilight made him a star, and I'm so glad because we're still talking about him this day. And there was a fan following for Twilight. I didn't care for it. I think if you're going to have a vampire movie, you need to show fangs. You need to show blood. That is the essence of a vampire movie. And like glittery and never showing it except for one time with a big bad and saying you're a good guy vampire, but never showing proof that you're an actual vampire other than you have really pale skin and you can do a Dragon Ball Z teleportation act. Like it's just like yeah.
Yeah, I actually, in all serious though, I like never could get into Twilight.
I wasn't a big fan, but like I liked Robert Pattinson and the stuff that he did. And like it really okay, Cedric Diggory was okay in the Harry Potter when he played that role. But when he was made the star of a movie and co-star, that really showed I'm like, this guy's got something.
Mm-hmm.
So in that aspect, it proved a lot to me, and it opened my eyes to seeing Robert Pattinson is actually a really good actor. Like like I'm saying, I'm not saying the movie was like OG trilogy or anything like that. Like freaking, it was Twilight, obviously. The writing wasn't the best, but it got me looking at Robert Pattinson in a different way in a main role. So it succeeded in that.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, I know like a lot of people will associate him to Twilight, and that's probably like where the criticism is with him being playing as Batman. Is how can he play Batman when he's was in Twilight? Oh my god! But I'm actually looking forward to his Batman. Like I'm
Yeah,
wanting to give his Batman a chance.
yeah, he's done a ton of things since, and like he's really good. Eamon Fate says Twilight sucks, but it moved merch. Yes, and you guys also got to understand at that time. I remember because I was getting out. I was just getting out of high school and stuff like that, and 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 freaking that was the emo phase. So it was the perfect time to do Twilight because you still had the height of the emo with My Chemical Romance and all those emo rock bands. So then they did Twilight and it just caught like fire. Do I like the emos and that whole thing? No. I was goth in high school, so like we used to laugh at them kids and think that they're kind of disgrace. But yeah. Now it says he's great in Good Time in the Lighthouse. Yes, see, so the Bradley likes his work too, and yeah, I like Robert Pattinson. I have not seen that movie yet, but I've heard about it. Heard it was a good movie, and I definitely want to check it out. Seen
But
it.
yeah, my point is like I think like yeah, Robert Pattinson might get a lot of crap because he was in Twilight, but you guys forget like people like I mean you guys who are criticizing him for being Twilight. You guys are forgetting he was in Harry Potter and a few other things. So he can play other roles. And he was in like a current like I think he was in like one of the newest Christopher Nolan movies as well. So he can do other roles as well. He has the potential of being one of the greatest Batman or actors who played Batman in history. So like I'm up for seeing Robert Pattinson being Batman. That and even if he goes to Marvel, playing like in a future movie being on Uncle Ben, which I don't know why he would be casted as Uncle Ben, but for the hell, because since we're on Spider-Man, I would be open to seeing him play as Uncle Ben as well.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I got to get my kid some clothes. He just got out of the shower, so if you could
Okay,
just
and
talk to the chat for me for a minute.
I'll entertain the wonderful chat. So I am secretly taking over Josh's channel now. So this is no longer just Order of the Reverend. This is Phil Order of the Reverend. Hear me now. Film, shame on you. Batman was sparkle in the sun. Harry Potter's. The new Batman trailer was so amazing. I have yet to uh well see the new Batman trailer. I've heard it's good. I've heard one of the biggest complaints about it was Catwoman. Like how she was in those like spandex and looks according to some people it looked kind of cheap, but I've heard this is supposed to be somewhat of an origin story. So like I'll be okay with the look being cheap. Playboy Phil's channel. Damn straight. Yeehaw. I don't know why I added the yeehaw, but yeah. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful New Year's Eve. And I do hope that your New Year's like your 2022 brings you nothing but success and joy and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to 2022. Only because I like the number 22. Let me see the chat again. Darth Phil. Yeah, I'm still icing my ass over here, Nate, because of that one time when you we played Among Us and you beat me. My butt is still sore from that, Nate. And fuck you for that, by the way, Nate. I still have the print and the ass whooping you gave me in Among Us.
All right, I'm back. Zeno says Josh is so Team Edward. Actually, I was. Actually, I was because I
Why?
like
Because he was
vampires.
Shark Boy.
I,
He
I,
was
I
Shark
like
Boy.
I like vampires. Like I like Buffy. I like Angel. I like Vampires. I like the originals. Like being human. That's where I found out about Sam Witwer and became a huge fan of his work. Like I love vampires. I'm a huge
See,
vampire fan.
I got introduced to Sam Witwer because of the Star Wars Force Unleashed games. And then he
Yeah.
I saw him in like a few other things. Yeah, of course, some was Star Wars, but other things were like I think the only other thing I really seen Sam Witwer in was that Supergirl show as something of Liberty. I forget the name that he had in the show.
All right. I'm gonna talk about that in another stream, Bradley. But yes, the new Batman trailer was freaking awesome, and I loved it. Next week we're gonna do a Batman talk. So for all you Batman fans out there, sorry Nate, you know I got to do it. We talked about this yesterday. Uh, I'm gonna next week, probably midweek sometime. I want to do like how we did a Spider-Man discussion today. That's I want to do a Batman discussion like that. So I know we talked a little bit about it, but I want to do a full deep dive Batman discussion next week. But definitely, Bradley, we'll be talking. We'll be talking about the Batman trailer, the new Batman trailer. We're going to talk about all Batmans, your favorite Batman. Who would you like to see in the future, maybe as a Batman? All Batman talk. I am a huge Batman fan. He's Punisher and Batman are my top two favorite superheroes of all time. So
Yeah, Batman was to briefly talk about Batman real quick. Batman is my was my first favorite DC character, but now it's Green Arrow. But so
yeah,
like
Batman was my first DC character. My
he was
freaking
about my
dad.
first
My
DC
my dad
character.
was my dad was trying to get me into DC. I didn't care because he was trying with Superman. I was just like, and then we saw. I was 2 years old. We saw Batman '89. I was like, ooh, I love that car. I don't even think I said those words because I didn't start talking until I was like 5. But freaking, I pointed at the freaking Batmobile, that freaking Batman '89 Batmobile, and I fell in love. And that was my toy for like 2 years. That and the freaking Optimus Prime truck, and those were my two toys as a little baby. Like
Oh yeah.
that was my favorite. Nate says, as a person who is Batman fatigued, I can't wait to watch the Batman. No, me and Nate talked about this on a call yesterday, and he said this, and I definitely appreciate it, and that is so cool to hear his words on that. He said, "I'm Batman fatigued, and the thought of another Batman trilogy is like, come on, take some time off." But I like the Batman trailer, and it looks different, and that's what I was saying was this gives a different take. Anytime we've ever seen Batman, whether it's animated or film, Bruce Wayne Batman has been established in the Batman role. This the Batman movie is year 2. So he just started becoming Batman, and I think that is a different and fresh take. This is a younger Batman, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I can't wait for the new Batman trailer as well because I'm like even though there's been a crap ton of Batman, I'm still excited about there be a new Batman because I love the new I just love different takes of him. But like I was definitely like if I'm on the panel next week, I will save this talk for next week's. But it's more
Yeah.
detail. But I would love to see a live action Terry McGomez or Batman Beyond. I probably butchered his last name.
Chuck D says, when they get a good Batman, then I'll be happy. Well, it depends on your definition. My favorite was Michael Keaton Batman.
Mine was Christian Bale.
Yeah, there you go. It's cool. They've had it's just, good is a personal preference. Whether what somebody says is good is a personal preference, and you got to look at numbers. If that person is making money at the box office and it's got huge sales and people like that person, and that truly is what defines if it's good or not. But it's mostly personal. Scott Adkins is Bruce Wayne, HBO Max, Damian Wayne, Art. That would be cool.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Chuck D says Batman and Conan favorite comic books. Awesome, dude. I was never the biggest Conan the Barbarian fan. I did like Arnold in the movie that he did. I like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like that was cool. Yeah, and I love the Batman comics. Of course, I'm a big Batman fan, so yeah, that's cool, man. He said, "Watch, there's going to be a Spider-Man that will twerk." I would rather a Spider-Man that twerk than a Spider-Man being in a hot dog Ewok costume. So yeah. Just kidding, buddy. Just kidding.
Oh.
Only if you were wearing a Spider-Man mask.
See, I got no shame. I will do that. I would definitely be able to do that.
And Chuck D says Keaton ruled. Yes, Keaton fans in the house. That's what's up. Like, no, I'm a huge Michael Keaton fan. I loved him in Beetlejuice. My favorites were the Tim Burton two Batmans. Of course, I liked '89 better than the second one. '89 is my favorite Batman movie of all time. It also had Billy D. Williams, Lando. It had a lot of great actors and actresses. I love the way it was done. Jack Nicholson Joker isn't my favorite Joker of all time, but I thought he was really good, solid Joker. And I thought he made the Joker serious. And I did like that take. Because the Joker is Joker and he's taken as a joke. And he really brought a comedy element, but also brought some seriousness to the Joker role that actually blended in very good. So I liked Jack Nicholson in that role. Heath Ledger, Joker was my favorite of all time. It's got to be. Because I was a huge Heath Ledger fan. But yeah, like I said, we'll deep dive more into that next week. Let's see. Now I'm going to get to the part of the show where we do the wrestling content. If you guys aren't into that, I completely understand if you guys want to dip. But I promised you guys some wrestling content, so that's what I'm going to give you.
Yeah, I'm not too knowledgeable about that area. Like,
it's okay. There's a wrestling pay-per-view tomorrow, and we're just going to talk about the matches and predict who we think's going to win and going to lose.
Yeah, my voice won't carry much weight in this scenario because I'm not really that knowledgeable about it.
It's fine. I'll cover it. Let's see if I can do share screen right here. And we'll just go over.
So yeah, share screen is in between like Leave Studio and Cam/mic.
Okay, yeah, I see.
And it will give you an option to like share audio, and if it's a video, yeah, I recommend doing that.
Okay. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go to the top here. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna start at the top and work our way down. Okay, good. You guys can still see me. All right, so the main event is the Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns, the champion, will be defending his title against Brock Lesnar. So that's the champion to left Roman. Paul was his manager. He recently fired him because he's been in the middle between Roman and Brock. All right. So, what are your guys' thoughts? Roman Reigns has been the world champion since August, September of last year, and he's beaten everybody. I personally think because of the storyline and role that Roman's going to keep it. I think it's going to. I think Roman's going to keep it. I think they're building towards his cousin Jey Uso is being the top good guy, and he's going to take the title from him, and that's going to be the top star for the future. So I'm going for Roman on this one. All right, Nate's going for Roman, and Fate's going for Roman. All right, pretty much given. All right, we'll move on from that. Let's see. The next one is the triple threat match for the WWE World Title. Or no, not triple threat. Fatal 4-Way. Sorry, guys. Big E will be defending his title against Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley. This is going to be a good one, and I'm hoping to find multiple opinions. Dang, I'm not sure. Let's see what you guys think. Okay, Chuck D says, if there's any truth that WWE is letting Roman go, then I say Lesnar, if not true. It's not true, dude. Like, Roman is a made man in WWE. He's the one guy that Vince won't fire. If Vince releases everybody else, he's gonna keep Roman and he's gonna keep Charlotte. All right, those are the two people that Vince will never fire. They are made, they're gold, and they ain't going anywhere because that is the cash cows of WWE, basically. That's the big merch sellers. And yeah, those people ain't ever leaving. Chuck D says, KO, I want to win. Kevin Owens. I would love for Kevin Owens to win. I'm trying to see who would be. I want Kevin Owens to win. I think it's either going to be Lashley or Rollins. It's probably going to be Lashley because what they've been doing with him recently, how he came out of nowhere. I think the Big E push hasn't worked, and well, if you're looking at storyline, Rollins might win it because I think they're going to give us an Edge Rollins rematch that might build to WrestleMania. Eventually, I think they're going to put the title back on Edge.
Unfortunately, I gotta check because I muted myself because one of my family called.
It's okay, man. Thank you for coming on, and I appreciate it. And we've been going for almost 2 hours now, so
it was definitely a pleasure coming on, and I wanted to have him make a cameo.
Oh yeah, show him off, dude.
Nemo is definitely making a cameo.
What's up, Nemo?
So yeah, you get 2 cameos today. But I'll catch you guys later. Keep supporting Josh because he is an amazing person, and I can see him going for. And I'm truly honored that to call him a friend and a brother.
Same here, man. Same here.
But I'll catch you guys later. I hope you have a awesome rest of your stream, and I'll talk to you all later.
All right, have a good one, Phil.
Hey, you too.
All right, guys. All right. So Nate, Fate, what are you guys thinking about? Who's gonna win this Fatal 4-Way? Thanks, Fate. I appreciate it. Like Kevin Owens. Okay, so we got 2 for Kevin Owens. That's awesome. Uh, I don't know if Nate's still with us. Nate might go for Big E. I don't know. Yeah, see, I knew it. I knew Nate was gonna say Big E. Yeah, Nate says Big E has to win. I know Nate, and I know you're a big Big E fan, and I would love for Big E to win. But just from what I've heard, they think that the Big E push is not been so successful. That's mostly because of creative, but you know how these people are. They don't want to blame it on the creative. They want to blame it on the talent. They do it every single time. And if they always have, you always like Kevin Owens. Yeah, Kevin Owens is awesome. I like anything that he does, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. I like him as a good guy because he's been a bad guy for so long. Being a face shows range in a character and what he can do as a performer, not only just as a wrestler but as an actor. Because this is half acting, half sports or competitiveness. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm there with you. All right, guys. So I'm going for Rollins. You got 2 for Big E there, and then Nate's going or 2 for KO, and then Nate's going for Big E. So what's the point of letting him win on the title, losing his first title defense? Because he cashed in his Money in the Bank, Nate. And you know how that goes. Anyone who ever cashes in their Money in the Bank always has short title reigns. It never fails. Never fails. I have never seen someone cash in their title reign. I think Seth Rollins might have been the only one. They cashed in their Money in the Bank and had a successful run as champion. Cool. I haven't seen him as a face. They started, I want to say, about a year or 2 ago. And he was rivaling with Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon was a bigger heel. And they were teasing it for a while, and then Kevin Owens just finally he turns face, but he's more like a Stone Cold than a straight up baby face. And it got over so much. And if you know anything about Kevin Owens in real life, his idol was Stone Cold Steve Austin. So freaking him doing that Stone Cold type character was just perfect. And it was amazing. And Kevin Owens knocked it out of the park. They will literally give Kevin Owens the worst crap material, and he will turn it into gold because it's Kevin Owens. And he's just really good in whatever he does. So, yeah. All right, so we're going to move forward a little bit here. All right, so we got the Raw Women's title match now. Becky Lynch will be defending her title against Liv Morgan. This can either be a crowning moment or it could be a disaster. And see what your guys' thoughts and your predictions are. So they go back and forth so much it's hard to keep up. Yes, Chuck, it is. It's worse than a Big Show turn. It's crazy. I definitely agree with you on that one. But okay, so we got Becky defending her title against Liv. See who you guys want to win this, or who you think will win this. Team Liv all day. Nate, I'm there too. You're a bigger Liv fan than I am, but I want Liv. I want the baby face. If we're going to get a good moment, one good moment out of this pay-per-view in the start of the new year, you need to start on a good note, and I think crowning Liv as the women's champion and finally giving her the push after all this time with her best friends getting fired and everything that's going on. Liv, they kept Liv in WWE for a reason. So I think Liv's gonna win. She's gonna win that title, and it's gonna be like a Mania moment, which means they're gonna crap all over Mania. So yeah, I'm going for Liv too. Big Chuck D says Liv Morgan because it's a new face for a new year. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Really, Nate, you and the puns, brother. I swear. Believe and believe. Nice. Nate says Alexa versus Liv at SummerSlam. I don't think they're going to do SummerSlam, Nate. I think they're going to do Mania. I think Bliss is going to win the Rumble, where it's possible. If they put the title on Liv, if they pull the gun and give Liv her moment at day one, then they're going to have a heel. I don't know which Alexa Bliss it would be though. I don't know if you're still going to do Fiend gimmick or if you're going to just bring back the Goddess. But I think we're going to get Liv versus Bliss a whole lot sooner than SummerSlam. Chuck D says, I don't actually even care about women wrestling. Yeah, like because you haven't been given a reason to care. Like and that's the whole thing. I understand where you're coming from. Like me and Nate get frustrated with AEW, we get frustrated about it. And with WWE sometimes. WWE promotes their women better, but like it's the same people at the top and it's rare that people get a push. I'm so glad Liv Morgan's getting a push. It's great, but that doesn't happen all the time, and it makes it special. It should happen all the time, but yeah, like when Becky did the man thing, and that was like an Attitude Era type moment. That was fun. Yeah. Oh, there you go, Fire Bliss. If one thing you need to know about Vince, he loves his blondes. So yeah, like he ain't firing Bliss. Bliss is money because how over that Lily doll got. If you realize how much money that Lily doll made because an Eva Marie got so much heat, they put that Lily doll over, and that Lily doll made probably millions of dollars in the short time that it was being used. So yeah, if you make money for WWE, you ain't get fired, but you got to make a lot of money. Yeah, so I don't think Bliss is getting fired since Attitude Era. Said I definitely got to brush up on all this, guys, but I'm inspired to get back. Yeah, start with the pay per view. Don't try to catch up because you're going to be catching up for years. Fate. Just come to the watch party with us. We'll fill you in. If you got questions, we'll answer. We'll also refer to you to certain Raws if you want to see a certain storyline. Because this is going to end all the storylines and then bring it up current. This is pretty much ending all the old crap and starting with fresh storylines. So yeah. So it's going to dip out, but it's fun. Yeah, Fate. Come join us for the watch party. It was great to have you. Thanks for freaking chatting with us. Definitely appreciate it. Nate says, hell, even an Impact gets frustrating. Yeah, dude. Like, freaking Mickey James had the opportunity to start a faction, to do something different. And what's the first rivalry that she does? She goes back to Madison Ring, which is what she was doing in 2010, 2012. Like she had this opportunity. She had this opportunity to do something different. You know, she always wanted that push. She said that WWE held her back. Mickey had this opportunity to do something different and fresh, and then she went back to the same old stuff. The fact is, she wanted to get pushed so she could have the belt. She wasn't ever going to do anything with it. She wasn't even going to come up with any fresh and new storylines, like a faction storyline or something that was really cool. She went back doing the same stuff. And that's very disheartening. Yeah, don't get me started on Impact, Chuck D. Exactly, that's why I stopped watching it. I did a 1 month membership to the Impact Plus because Nate was starting to get me into it, and I thought they were going to do something with Mickey, and then plop plop. So yeah. Hey Nate, Madison Rain sucks. No, I don't think she sucks, Nate, and I know we see different about this, and that's fine. I think that the material, and her real name, I think it's Ashley Rain or something like that, because that's the name she used in WWE. Madison Rain doesn't suck. Her material has been trash. I mean, like, you took her as like a junior to the junior mean girl. Then you try to make her boss of the mean girls, and then that didn't work. And then you try to put her in with the mean girls. And Madison Rain is from the South. I think she could have done the hardcore country gimmick better than Mickey did. If you really tap into her roots and what she's passionate about. But making Madison Rain the mean girl forever, she's okay as a heel. She's a better heel than Matt Hardy, but she isn't like the top heel in the business. I think she's given a lot of bad material, but I think if she were to be given some really good stuff, the Madison Rain could be really good. Said, yeah. Nate said she went full brother. And if people don't realize what that means, that is my nickname for Hulk Hogan. Because he says brother all the time. So brother. So if you hear me or Nate say that, that's what we're talking about. Mickey probably did, dude. Like, and the worst thing is that women's wrestling is so bad from a not ability, but from a creative standpoint, from storylines and characters, and stuff like that. That it's like that's the bad aspect. They have great ability, amazing matches. The women are killing it, and they're doing amazing. And me and Nate, we love women's wrestling, but it's like the storylines. It's like they can't come up with a character. They want to complain about how they can't book the guys. Dude, they really can't book the women, like, from a creative aspect, not from wrestling ability or in-ring work. But why do you think Riho is so over in AEW? Because they don't give her any creative. They just give her in-ring ability, and Riho is amazing. I'm like, but freaking from a creative aspect, no one's creative. The closest thing you have to a faction is Toxic Attraction in NXT. And because it's part of NXT 2.0, it gets trashed on. And I think Toxic Attraction is severely underrated. They're an amazing group. Britt Baker tries to form a group, but no, it's just not good. And Britt Baker does her shoot promos, and it doesn't work. In order to do shoot promos, you got to have a ton of time in. Rookies doing shoot promos doesn't work. Like, and Britt Baker hasn't. She's essentially a rookie, and she's been in a little bit, but not that long. And freaking that's why it's not working. Like, Mandy's been in longer than Britt Baker has. Mandy Rose has been in for a while. And then she's got these other two independents with Gigi and JC Jane. And Nate knows more about their backstory than I do. I've only seen them for a little bit. But freaking Mandy's been through a lot. And she's good in ring. She just needs character work. And they're working on it. And Mandy's getting better. So there's improvement. So yeah, it's not bad. Chuck D says TNA was awesome, but Impact is a sunk ship. Few good wrestlers left. Yes, and that's the sad truth about it all. It feels like an indie show at a freaking armory or a high school gym. And like, I remember this was Impact. This was the house that AJ Styles built, the real house that AJ Styles built, the house that Sting built, the house that Jeff Jarrett built, the house that made Christian Cage a freaking name. The house that got me into the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. That's the type of talent that I want to see. The house that made Frankie Kazarian, like all these big names and people that we love. And it's just like, it's not that anymore. It's more than a sinking ship. It feels more like a cemetery. Britt Baker's boring. Yeah, but it's because she's told that she's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and she's not. She needs to be critiqued, like objectively. I think if you had a woman like a Tara in TNA or Victoria in WWE, if you had someone like that or like a Beth Phoenix or a Natalia type to be like, okay, here's how you work on this and here's how you could get better. I think if you had that, if you actually had a women doing the creative in the women's division, I think Britt could be really good. But everybody's telling her she's so great, and the creative just sucks. Like, so yeah. And Chuck agrees. Nate says, besides Thunder Rosa and Jade Gargill are the only one with a character. Not the only one with a character. They're just the most over and the most recognizable. And AEW promotes the hell out of them, which definitely helps. When AEW gets behind something, the promotion can make it really freaking good. All right. But when they don't, it's like they give a little promotion. Let's give an example. Kiera Hogan comes in. This is someone you should have promoted. She is a name that people know from Impact and NWA and other promotions. And then you can bring that on to other stuff. And you debut her, you have her win. I don't care if you have her go up against a jobber, you still have her win. And you build her up. And if you're going to have Jade go over on her, then you build her up to a pay-per-view. And then freaking have Jade go over on her to build Jade up. And then that way it doesn't hurt her. But then Kiera Hogan comes in her first match. She didn't just lose. She got buried. She got squashed like she was nothing. And it's like, AEW, our women's stars are the greatest. In Impact, your women's stars are trash. And that's just a terrible way to do business. And that was not good at all. So, yeah, I did not like that. But they can build their women up when they do right. When Britt finally got that title, people went nuts. Because people wanted Britt to win the title and they wanted her to be a champion. And they got behind her. And then they pulled the trigger and they promoted it. And Sheeta, amazing, one of my favorites. She passed the torch to her. And she did good stuff. It just happens that Britt didn't really take that ball and run with it the best that she could. Chuck D says, I like Statlander and Ruby Soho. Ruby's okay. Like, I liked her in NXT when she had that rivalry with Nikki Cross. When we had Sanity Nikki Cross, my favorite version of Nikki Cross. But other than that, like when you gave her real good babyface stuff, they're not doing much from character-wise. Like when they had on Dynamite, she came out after freaking Thunder Rosa got the ever-living crap kicked out of her, and I think she should have been there like a couple minutes before. If you're going to do it, like Ruby shouldn't even came out at all. You should have just do the reveal of Mercedes Martinez, leave freaking her hanging. Just leave Thunder Rosa down and out, and then you have this debut of this monster heel. And then the next week when Jade and Mercedes team up, and it's the 2-on-1, then build that up and bring Ruby to save the day. And use something more than a freaking kendo stick. Use like a bat or a chair or something. And freaking, I think that would have gone better that way. Nate says, I see the improvement in Mandy Rose. Yeah, she's like, and anyone who knows me knows I'm not a big Mandy Rose fan at all. I think she's like Eva Marie 2.0. But even I'm impressed and can respect how better Mandy Rose is getting. So yeah. And Nate says AJ Styles. Yes, I'm an AJ Styles fan. I don't talk about it that much. That's because other than the Omos stuff, they really don't have him do that much. But I love AJ Styles. I think he's amazing. I liked Fortune. I'm one of those few Fortune fans. Like I've always been an AJ fan. My favorite iteration of the Bullet Club was when he was the leader of it. Like I absolutely love AJ Styles. I haven't met him, but I would love to meet him. Gail Kim for women's creative. See that's gonna be a little. You're gonna have different opinions on it, Nate. Basically, Gail Kim does have her pluses, but like she's the head of Impact Women's Creative, and look at what they're doing with your girl Jordan Grace, man. Like, and I know you're a big fan of Jordan Grace, but they could use her so much better than what they have been, and like they haven't. Like Rachel Ellering, she comes from a family line of wrestlers, and they could be building her up. Uh, they could build her up as a top star and stuff like that, or starting a faction and bringing in more people. They don't do women's factions, and I don't know why. It could get over. There's a huge fan following for women's wrestling. It's just that it could be bigger if they would just do the creative right. Uh, Gail Kim sucks. Yeah, like I'm saying, you got multiple views. Kim has the opportunity to make it the best. All right, and Gail Kim doesn't. Why not? She's given the keys to the kingdom. So I completely understand Chuck's view, and I know you love Gail, Nate. So I understand where both you guys are coming from. Nate says, "Don't get me started on Kira." Yeah, I know. We talk about this. I just had to put it out there, man. Like I just had to give my opinion on it and just be like, I don't think it's fair. I'm not a big Kiera Hogan fan either. I just think the way that she's being used is like trash. I don't like it, and I don't think it's fair. Uh, Impact is not ROH or freaking your high school gymnasium or armory. Impact does have some notoriety, and it is on TV every week. So freaking, it's a little. It's not the top two, but it's still, I would say, top five. Uh, and freaking, so to treat her like that in AEW, just it has a lack of, it has like no respect, in my opinion. Yeah, she's not the greatest, but if you got to look at Chuck, you got to look at the way they were bringing Kiera Hogan in. They started promoting her. They put her on the graphic, and they were saying, "Oh, we're getting Kiera Hogan in AEW," like it was a big deal. And then they squash her like she was nothing. That like that's the bigger point. Once like you got to look at the whole context of it all. AJ is awesome. Yes, I love AJ. What I liked about AJ initially was like, and being an older fan like myself, you had a heavyweight division, you had the light heavyweights, the high flyer stuff like that. You didn't mix those for a while. You didn't mix those divisions. So like, if you're a high flyer, you weren't going to go for the world title. You had your own title to go for. World title were for like your heavy hitters, your bulkier dudes, your bigger guys. And then AJ was like, he did the technical wrestling, like your Bret Hart, you're perfect. And he would do the high flying and some of like the cruiserweight stuff. And he blended two styles of wrestling. And at that time, early 2000s, that really didn't happen. And AJ was definitely a pioneer, and he was so entertaining to watch. Nate says Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering should be a beast. They should be, but they're not. When they first came in, it was really cool as Rachel Ellering being her mystery tag team partner, but then they dropped the ball, and then they tried to turn Jordan Grace heel, but then they didn't fully commit, and then they tried to turn her back, and it was just like, it's like we complain about WWE booking all the time, but Impact is no better. And Impact doesn't have the restraints that WWE has. They don't have the freaking advertisers and the stockholders and all these people they have to appease. Impact has almost free reign, and they do business with New Japan, they do business with ROH, they do business with NWA. They literally could do whatever the heck they wanted, and they still blow it. So it's sad. Chuck D says Grace is cool. I remember when she appeared in Rumble at AEW. She rocked. Yeah, yeah. Jordan Grace is cool. I don't have a problem with her. I just don't. I think her creative is shite. So yeah, I like Jordan Grace. She's not bad. She's really good. Like Nate showed me this video of her versus Orange Cassidy in her gender match, and I thought that was hilarious. It was in a good way. Like it was great. So all right, let's move on. Oh yeah, so everybody's going for Liv, obviously. Let me go back up to the top here. All right. So the next match, we are getting the Edge, or the rivalry with The Miz versus Edge. Who you guys going for? Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Nate. I agree, and it's sad because like people don't realize we could get a female undisputed era if they would just put forth the effort, get the marketing right, get stuff like that, and yeah. Oh, we got split on here. That's cool. So Chuck D's going for Edge, and Nate's going for Miz. Interesting, interesting. It all depends. I want to say that Rollins is going to win the WWE title, and then Edge is going to win the match. So because I think whoever wins this, because they've been talking about the world title a lot, I think it's like similar with the Punk MJF thing. I think whoever wins between Edge and Miz is going for the world title after. I think whoever wins between Edge and Miz is going for the WWE title after the match. So it's like an unofficial number one contenders match, basically, is what I think it's going to be. She says, Miz, why Nate? I think Nate's thinking that because it's going to set up like if Big E does keep the title or any babyface wins that title, then Miz would be a good foil. Odin is saying like the underdog. Yes, Nate is a sucker for the underdog. That's where me and him differ. I don't like the underdog. I like a strong babyface. Like what they've done with Liv has been freaking beautiful. I'll take care of that. All right, there we go. Yeah, Chuck. Nate loves the underdog. I don't like the underdog. I like a strong babyface. Like I was saying, what they've done with Liv, they haven't made her an underdog. They have made her a strong babyface that freaking legit can beat Becky anytime she snaps her freaking fingers. So I love what they're doing with Liv, and that when Liv isn't screwed over, Liv will beat Becky every single time. And that Becky has to resort to cheating and underhanded tactics just to come out of a match with Liv. Liv beats her every single time. So yeah, I love Liv's booking. What they've done, and it proves that WWE can book good when they try. Like I love Liv's booking, especially with this rivalry with Becky. It's been perfect. Does Liv need to work a whole lot better on promos? Yeah. She hasn't been given that chance, so she hasn't had time to work on it. She's just been working on in-ring ability. I think eventually she'll get there, though. Not every underdog, Nate. Not everyone. A lot of underdogs work, Nate. Not every single one. The like Ray worked for a while, but Ray does the underdog all the time. And like you got to do it when it works. You can't do it all the time. It gets stale after a while. Like Daniel Bryan, like he worked as an underdog when you had the Yes Movement. Uh, Daniel Bryan worked when you did the Yes Movement and all that stuff, and it worked. But like when Daniel Bryan came back as a babyface, you couldn't do the underdog then, especially like when he was challenging Roman and Edge at WrestleMania. Like that underdog for that really didn't work. I remember when Villainous didn't cheat and just out wrestled the good guy. Sometimes, like with the Horsemen, I guess, but like they cheated too. Most heels do cheat. Like out, there's got to be a reason to hate the bad guy. Like what people do with MJF is freaking trash. People don't legitimately hate MJF. They like him. And they're like, oh, well, we're supposed to boo him, so let's do it. Like, no, dude. You need to legitimately hate the bad guy. Like Cornette, I remember when I was a kid, my mom wanted to slash his tires in the parking lot because she hated him. Cornette was an amazing heel. Like, and if you're going old school out, during the Von Erich era, Gary Hart was an amazing heel manager. Like, and when he managed Gino Hernandez and freaking Chris Adams, that was a great group putting those two together. Like, Tully was an amazing heel because you legitimately hated these people. It wasn't a role. You didn't think there was a part that they were playing. You legitimately thought that Tully and Arn were pieces of S in real life. Like, and that's the heel heat that I miss in wrestling. Scratch that, much underdogs work. I remember, yeah. Like that. That's what I think is missing. Legit heat. Did anyone actually hate Kenny as a heel? I mean, like Don Callis had legit heat, but I don't think anyone actually hated Kenny. Did we think the Bucks were annoying and couldn't stand him? Yeah, but freaking, I don't think anyone actually hated Kenny Omega. Oh yeah, we are going to. We're doing wrestler spotlights. We're gonna start doing series like that. So every week we're gonna do a different. I made Nate a promise when I started this channel that we were going to do a wrestling spotlight for Liv Morgan. That's going to be the first one. After that I want to do Sting, but then we could do one show just talking about managers. Heck yeah, we'll do that and bring you guys on, or if not, we can all just have a good conversation and just talk about who your favorite managers are, or what do you think they brought to the wrestling business, and what was their significance in wrestling. Yeah, I'd love to do that. See, Nate says, I despise the Young Bucks. I don't really hate them. I just think they suck, and I think they're overrated, and they have no personality. And like, I think they cosplay as wrestlers. Like they dress like they're the Hardys from 1995, and then they try to act like they're DX with the sophomore annex, but it's not getting over like DX did. And there's no real distinct character that gets me invested. They can do flips, and they got something called a Meltzer driver that's kind of funny because of who Dave Meltzer is, but nothing has really gripped me with them. Super Kick Party. You like the old school, but you like Young Bucks? Okay, Chuck. I will never dunk on you guys for having your favorites. Even if we don't have the same favorites, I'm still going to respect you and welcome you for who your favorites are, because we're wrestling fans here, okay? We're allowed to have our favorites and like who we like and not like who we don't like. So I'm never going to rag on you. I don't care for the Bucks. I don't like them. But if you like them, that's cool, man. Like, I got a couple friends that have met the Bucks, and they say they're really cool dudes, and that's nice. I just the characters on TV have never really, I've never really been into it. That's just me. Uh, let's go to the next one. All right, so I got Edge. Chuck's got Edge. Freaking Nate has got Miz. That is cool. Little, not everybody's the same. I like. All right, next is the Smackdown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, the Ones, versus defending their titles against the New Day. Who you guys going for? I got Usos. I love the Bloodline. It's my favorite faction. That and UE are my favorite factions in wrestling now, and I think Bloodline's going to keep all the titles. What do you guys think? Okay, so Chuck's got Usos. What say you, Mr. Nate? See, Chuck says, I have hated on New Day since day one. Me too. Just not my cup of tea. Nate says, New Day, psych, Usos. Oh, my God, Nate, that was a good one, man. I like that. Yeah, like, I just don't like the New Day gimmick. It's just not me. It's the whole gospel thing, and I'm not hating on it. I know there is a fan following for that. For you guys who love the New Day, that's cool. I like the guys who are in the New Day. I just don't particularly care for it. Like, if you would have done like a more serious, like Nate and I have talked about this, like a New Nation, you don't have to call it that, or like a Hurt Business type with them. Prior to the Hurt Business, give it more of a serious role. I think they would have knocked it out of the park. Because I think Xavier Woods is so underrated, and I think he's underrated because they've put him in the comedy gimmick too long. I've seen Xavier Woods in a serious role, and I think this man is being held back, and he's got so much to offer, but he can't do that in a comedy role. So yeah. Yeah. You want the New Day, and it's just been going so long, dude. You want change every now and then. Imagine if freaking DX went for 20 years. That would be boring. And like, or like the NWO or something. You can take a cool idea, but when like you run it into the ground, it's just And I think in order, like Jim Cornette says it, in order for us to miss them, they got to go away. And New Day has been strong for isn't it over a decade, guys? If I'm wrong, tell me. But freaking New Day's been a tag team for a long time. So yeah, we are the nation of domination. Yeah. Yes, Nation Domination was great. I liked it when they got rid of them stupid rappers and just had like when they had Farouk, Rock, D'Lo, Godfather, Mark Henry, and Owen Hart. That was like, well, even like minus Owen Hart, if you just had Farouk and Rock and stuff like that. And that's it. Chuck D says NWO is for life. NWO is for life. But does it mean the storyline can't get stale? Yeah, I love NWO. Yes, Nate, I'm a huge NWO fan. That's why I like the Bullet Club. I love the NWO storyline. And even more than that, I like the guy who killed the NWO, and that guy is Sting, my absolute favorite. For 8 years now, yeah, I knew it's been a while. And I like all three guys. My wife is a huge Kofi fan. Kofi Kingston is what got my wife Rachel into wrestling. Like her and Kofi and Sheamus are the reasons why. Kofi, Sheamus, and CM Punk are the reasons why my wife is a wrestling fan, and that's awesome. So that's the whole reason why that. People say Goldberg killed the NWO. Goldberg, no, not really, because when he took the title, then they started doing the faction warfare, and then they found a way to get back together, and then they freaking buried. Think about it. The NWO at its strongest was when it was just black and white, and they were running roughshod over everybody, and nobody could touch them. And then Sting did the Crow gimmick, and he's the one guy that could touch them when nobody else could. By the time Goldberg came around, they've been touched and phased, and they had dissension in their ranks. But NWO was a united front until Sting came along. And Sting was the first guy to be able to lay his hands on Hogan. And freaking Sting took out Hogan. Then he took the title. Yeah, we don't like the way that match went down in Starrcade 97, but he still took the title from Hogan, and after that, they couldn't get back to where they were. So yeah, if you look at it from that, Sting did he put the first crack in the NWO armor, basically. So Sting is as responsible for ending the NWO as anybody, which is what made it so fitting when at WrestleMania 31, the NWO came out to defend Sting because he was the only guy that touched him. So in a way, they had respect for him. So yeah. Yeah, Becky NWO's thing was pretty cool. Yeah, that was. All right, so let's see. All right, so we're all going with Usos. The next is the Raw Tag Team titles. RK Bro will be defending their titles versus the Street Profits. What you guys going for? Second, see what you guys think. I think RK Bro's going to keep it. Well, it's kind of a hard one to say. It could go either way. If they're choosing to break up RK Bro already, then yeah, they could put the titles on Profits. But I think they're going to keep RK Bro for a while. Nate says RK Bro. Yeah. Chuck D says Street Profits because I want Randy free of tag team. I love Randy. Like, that dude does anything good. And Randy wanted this tag team. So it was awesome. I have no problem. But I understand, man. Randy Orton is at his best when he's solo. I will agree. But I haven't minded the tag team. It's been fun. It's been fun to see a different side of Randy Orton, a little more of a comedic side. That's been great. Like, of course, we want the Viper. The Viper's the man, the guy. I love Viper Orton, but seeing him doing this comedy stuff, it's been fun. Oh, Riddle needs the See, that's the thing that I was pitching. Everybody's like, "Oh, Randy's going to turn on Riddle. Randy's going to turn on Riddle." I'm like, "What if Riddle turns on Randy?" And I'm like, if Riddle turns on Randy, has been playing him this whole time, that is like, that'll give you your shocking moment. We want good moments in WWE again, like before. Like, freaking, that would come out of nowhere. And it wouldn't be like when Becky beat Bianca at SummerSlam shock. It would be like, oh crap, I didn't see that one coming. That would be really good, Nate. Awesome comment. If Riddle wasn't such a dumbass, I don't like the stoner gimmick either, Chuck. Like, I'm there with you, man. I think we all are. It was kind of funny at first, but they have just ran it into the ground. so bad. Like, like it's so bad and freaking yeah. I don't care for the stoner gimmick. I used to smoke back in the day. I gave it up. I straightened my life up, and yeah, so it's just not my thing. I know some people out there like it. I don't care. That would be good. Okay. See, some people like my ideas. Remember, Nate? I'm sorry, Nate. I gotta call it, dude. Like, I was the one that pitched that because everybody was saying, "Oh, well, Randy's gonna turn on Riddle. You know it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen." I was like, "What if Riddle turns on Randy? Wouldn't that be a shock?" They're just like, "What?" Like, it's like it blew their mind. Like, yeah, okay, so if you're expecting Randy to turn on Riddle, wouldn't you go the other way and have Riddle turn on Randy just to get the good shock factor? And then you could repackage Riddle. You could give him a heel gimmick. You could get him away from that stoner stuff because it's not working, in my opinion. I don't think it's really working that well, and it's turning Riddle into a joke. And we've had enough jokesters in WWE. Like, you could really do something with Riddle and you can make him a serious, legit, like badass MMA dude. And so, yeah, like that's why you could do so much stuff with Riddle. Like when he had that rivalry with Timothy Thatcher in NXT, and he still did a little comedy, but he wasn't. He was kind of serious. And then they did a cage fight, and he knocked out his teeth and all that. Like that was cool. Do like Ken Shamrock with the freaking Matt Riddle, but with the volume turned way up, and then just make him this monster killer. And I think freaking you got something there with Riddle. So you don't have to do too much, but I just don't like the Sunner stuff. He says, I'm glad Randy didn't ride the scooter. Yeah. Well, that would take the allure out of it. You don't ever want him doing this goofy crap. You want him teasing that it's a possibility that he could do this goofy crap. But you don't want to like pay it. Maybe have him ride a scooter for like 2 seconds at a WrestleMania, or don't even do that. Like you want to tease that it's a possibility, but that's something that like you don't want to pay off because you want to protect your main eventer. And that's the thing. Randy will always be a main eventer because he was built so well when he was starting out that they can throw Randy into any main event and he'll make it. You'll get that big fight feel because it's got Randy on it. You did say it. Yeah, because like that's the thing. That's like one of my favorite creative guys is Eric Bischoff. And because Eric Bischoff was all about those shock twists. And like you think you're going one way and then he'd throw you in another direction. Nate says Riddle could be like a Shamrock Lesnar type. Yes, exactly. That's perfect. He's got the ability. He doesn't have to be big, beefy boy, but he's got enough muscles. He's lean muscle like Randy Orton is. And, I think he might be a little bigger than Randy, but not much. So pretty much same size. And you could do a lot of stuff with him. Okay, so who you guys going for in this? You say Profits? Yeah. Chuck D wanted Profits, and Nate wanted RK Bro. Okay, so it should be interesting to see. All right, let's move on to the next one. And I can't even believe this is happening. Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. They can't say on this channel that we're biased because we're covering this. McIntyre, easy win, dude. Like McIntyre has been doing these open challenges and all this other stuff. He's been on a roll. McIntyre's got the momentum right now. They're really building him back to be the main eventer he used to be, that we all know and love. So I'm going for Drew. Who you guys going for? Chuck D said who? This guy named Riddick Moss. He used to be with NXT, then went to main roster, and then Drew McIntyre. You might be trolling me, but if you're not, I'm just letting you know who these guys are. He's Baron Corbin's freaking flunky, basically. Nate said, I pick sleep. I know it's cringe, Nate, but sleep? Moss. Chuck D says Moss, FTW. Oh my god. You guys are funny. All right, let's move on. I'm going to move on rather quickly. I know Nate will appreciate that. And finally, in the kickoff, this sounds like a really cool tag team. Cesaro and Ricochet versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland, and that's going to be on the kickoff show. The sleep match. Oh yeah. Well, why do you hate Drew, Chuck? What's wrong with Drew? You just hate the sword? Because I can admit the sword's like annoying. But yeah, most people love Drew. And then Nate says this is a sleep match, Josh. It's not a sleep, it's a squash. How long do you think it's gonna Drew gonna throw him around for like 2 minutes, hit the freaking Claymore, pin 1, 2, 3. Like freaking this match is gonna be so quick it can't even be a bathroom break match. Freaking it's gonna be so quick that freaking you go to the bathroom and they're done before you even get there. Like that one. Okay, so we're talking about the tag team. Cesaro and Ricochet, yeah. I don't know, man. I think baby faces are getting beat in this one. I think I gotta go for Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Because they got more of the storyline invested. They really haven't done much of a storyline. They just put Cesaro and Ricochet together to combat Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Dad. Hang on a second. All right, so Nate's. Prince Puma. Drew sucks. We just a 3-man band. Oh my god. I choose to move on. Nate says it's gonna be longer. What makes you think? I guarantee you, Nate, the entrances will be longer than the actual match. If it is not, when the new WWE game comes out, I will buy it for you. How about that? I said it. All right. He says, love Lucha. Lucha Underground's awesome. Nate says, fun fact, Josh, did you know that Thunder Rosa was Cobra Moon in Lucha Underground? No, I did not know. But I like Cobra Moon better as a name. I might be surprised. I've only seen Lucha a couple times because I don't get it, unfortunately. But I absolutely love Lucha Underground, and I think it's great. So yeah. 2 words, Josh. Happy Corbin. Happy Corbin is not going to extend a match. Happy Corbin will do the post-match beatdown. I can almost guarantee you that's where it's going to go. All right. Chuck D says, that's why she was familiar. Yeah, Thunder Rosa's been all over the place, dude. I knew I recognized her from Lucha. It's just like I started watching her NWA just to stick it to freaking Sean Ross Sapp and the Fightful crowd and some of those other dirt sheet guys because they're like, oh, we don't watch NWA. It's not really worth our time. It sucks. And then I saw a freaking I started watching it, and I saw a program between Melina and Thunder Rosa, and at that moment, I'm just like, I love you, Rosa. You're awesome. so, so yeah, like I became. They did a program. It was Melina versus Thunder Rosa, and their promos were just straight fire, and I loved it, and I became a fan. I appreciate it. Oh, whatever I said, I'm glad you appreciate it. Yeah, guys. So that's the predictions. We ain't got a lot of matches. I think some of those matches were canceled. I heard that Tony Storm is no longer with WWE. I'm still trying to figure. I've heard some reports that say she left. And there are other reports that say she got fired. So still trying to figure out which is true. Nothing has been so many sources who said that. Yeah. Yeah, so I saw Melina recently, but not sure if it was Impact or what. Prop, it may have been like she's been doing a lot of stuff with NWA, and I even think she's done a couple things with MLW. And I only know that because MLW is on Vice now. Well, like some of the time they're on Vice. So she's been doing a couple things there. Yeah, but she's like Nate said, she's in the NWA. Like she's mostly in NWA. But Melina does make her round. She's amazing. I've been a fan of hers for years. Like, and she's really freaking good. Send me to maybe she can find a better place. Yeah, like Melina does several promotions. So like, if she doesn't stick at one, it'd be over. Oh, you're talking about Tony Storm? Yeah, Tony Storm will. Britt's already trying to get her in AEW, so she's probably gonna go to AEW. I guarantee you, she'll go to AEW. I don't think freaking Allie and Penelope Ford are gonna be lasting much longer. Like now you got people complaining about that storyline because where they have tagged against Anna Jay and Tay Conti for so long. I think some women are going to be on the chopping block in AEW soon because they're running storylines way too much. Yeah, but I'm pretty. Tony Storm would be a hot commodity for AEW. That would be huge, especially with her background and everything, and especially with the fans. Okay, the Bunny. I like Allie. I liked Allie in Impact TNA, but like way they're using her here, no. I think Allie or Bunny is good in AEW. I think Anna Jay is great, but like this is me personally. If you guys feel different, that's completely fine. I think Tay Conti and Penelope Ford are duds. I think Penelope Ford would be better in WWE because she's a Mandy Rose type, uh, Eva Marie type. I think that's the type that she is, and freaking Anna Jay needs to take over that Dark Order. Or if not, you need to bring a Bray Wyatt in, and Anna Jay could be uh, second in line to that Bray Wyatt, and she could be like the general for Wyatt, and they could run it together. Uh, Anna Jay deserves better. Yes, she does. Personally, I think she deserves the Darby push, but they don't have someone who knows how to book women's creative, so that's your fault with that. Chuck D. I wish Dan Lambert would have slapped the shiznit out of Brandy. Nah, dude, like that would have been great, but that wasn't gonna happen. You got to understand the context. Yes, AEW has better storylines. Yes, AEW is a more fun promotion. I'm not saying it's a better promotion, it's more fun. But you got to understand what it is. AEW is a SJW promotion. They are SJW Identity Politics. And if you think that a man on that show is ever going to slap a woman, you're gonna have the cancel culture mob jump all over that promotion. They would never do that. So it would have been good heel heat. Oh yeah, it would have been good heel heat. But I personally don't think they have the balls to do it. Perry push. Which Perry are we talking about? We're talking about Jungle Boy Jack Perry? What are you talking about, Nate? Let me know so I can figure this out. I knew it. Jungle Boy Jack. I love JR, but that Jungle Boy Jack stuff gets on my ever loving nerves. And Nate knows it. Nate knows it. Because he was promoted as Jungle Boy. Chuck D says, I remember when Bucks super kicked SoCal Val. They're the Bucks, dude. They are. Like CM Punk was talking about freaking internet trolls in wrestling. I mean, like, how can you not mention the Bucks if you're talking about internet trolls in wrestling? Freaking the Bucks will troll people on Twitter. They will troll people in real life. Dude, remember when they first came in and they were supposed to be good guys, and then they did the FTR thing, and they were supposed to be the good guys against FTR? They super kicked Marvez. They super kicked Tony Schiavone. They super kicked every freaking backstage interviewer they ever came across. Like freaking, that's where the Bucks were funny because they would just like, they randomly just like super kicking people. It's so funny. They're the ultimate trolls. They are, dude. I'm saying. When you don't put the Bucks with a faction and try to shove them down everybody's throats, they can be good at just being troll heels. Hang on one second. Yeah, they are. Like the Bucks can be used good, but like the problem is you don't have a head of creative. You got everybody thinking their stuff is like the greatest stuff since sliced bread. Like, and I'll give you an example. The Bucks have always been annoying, cringe to me. And like the Elite should have gotten over more than the NWO. The Elite should have been like NWO Wolfpack. Or like if Bullet Club had their own like Wolfpack thing. That's what the Elite should have been. And it never got over like that. They dropped the ball on their partnership with Impact, which they could have gotten a lot of great stuff. We could have gotten a freaking, I think Moxley and Sami Callihan had a badass tag team back in the day. You could have gotten that. You could have gotten like a real Bullet Club with Kenny and the Good Brothers, and I love Gallows and Anderson. So you could have gotten that. You could have like done something really special. You could have done like an NWO type faction and done all kinds of stuff, but they never went there. You had every variation of the Bullet Club. You had Bullet Club in Impact, New Japan, and freaking AEW, and you had the partnership with all three of them, and they just didn't do anything with it, which is sad. Like when Adam Cole debuted. He debuts a few days later. He's got the Adam Cole music and the shirt, and now he's branded the Bucks. Now they're branding. Now they can be cool. And now the Bucks are starting to get over because of Adam Cole. Because Adam Cole knows how to do a faction. I absolutely love the Undisputed Era. They remind me of a mix between the Shield and the NWO. And freaking, I love UE. UE's so good, great in ring, awesome promos, cool music, cool shirts and logos and stuff. Like Undisputed Era's just got it all, and I think it's awesome. And them being an AEW, I'm so psyched up for this. It's great. All right, Nate says, question: when was the last time that the Lucha Bros defended the tag team championships? The pay-per-view, wasn't it? What was that? Full Gear? Or it might have been like a week or two ago. They do defend those titles. It's just, yeah. I think it was FTR like a week or two ago. So it wasn't that long ago, but like the match wasn't like over the top, and we're used to Lucha Bros matches being so freaking good that it honestly can pass us and we not realize it. So I understand why you might have forgotten about it or whatever, Nate. Kenny Omega sucks for women's creative, but does he really do the women's creative? And Kenny Omega is not a booker, so freaking people thinking that Kenny Omega should be put in a position to book women's creative is a freaking idiot in the first place. Like, I understand Kenny didn't do the best. He tried to get Hikaru Shida over, and I respect him for that. But like, don't put people, if you're an employer, and I used to be a boss, do not put people in positions where they cannot succeed. That doesn't help anybody. It does them wrong. It gets them hate. And as a boss, you wanna do right by your employees. So putting Kenny in a position where he had to book women's creative on top of his own stuff, I don't think was fair to Kenny, let alone anybody else or the talent he was trying to help. And then Chuck says they defended not that long ago. Yeah, I think it was recent too. And then Nate says, okay. Okay, Nate says they will be facing Draxi. Like, and that's the thing. And I want your guys' opinion on this. Why? So they get in an 8-man tag, and freaking Christian decides he wants to heal it up out of jealousy, and now they got a tag title. And being like, I'm not trying to sound biased here, but my guys, Darby and Sting, are we going off the rankings? Like, why doesn't Darby and Sting get the next tag shot? Like, freaking, they beat FTR. They're undefeated as a tag team. Sting and Darby should be next in line. So why are Jurassic Express jumping on the front of the line and getting the title shot? What, just for a storyline? They're supposed to all be faces. So you can't say it's the face versus heel dynamic. I could understand if that was it, but like, why isn't Darby and Sting getting the title shot? They're not in a rivalry. They were with FTR, but they beat FTR. And freaking, and Punk and MJF is the rivalry. So I get that, but how are they number one contenders? What have they done to become number one contenders? Did they win a battle royal? Was there a tag match on Dark that I missed? Like, that's all I'm saying with that. Yeah. Christian Cage needs to get out of. No, I don't have a problem with Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. I want, if anything, I want Christian Cage to split up Jurassic Express from the inside. I want him to get into Jungle Boy's head so bad that he ends up turning Jungle Boy heel. And by the time Jungle Boy realizes the damage that he's done to his best friends, it's too late. And then he goes on this thing regretting it. So, yeah. And then it goes into this whole rivalry between Christian and Jungle Boy. And then Jungle Boy eventually comes out as the good guy. I'd like to see that. The Sting and Darby hasn't tagged as much. There have been quite a few. Oh, he's been in a whole lot more. Like, if you follow Dark Elevation, which I didn't until recently, but they do a lot, and they've been a tag team for about a year now. Like, so they've done a lot, and they're undefeated. And I think being undefeated should hold more weight than just how many wins you have generally. They have done, and Sting hasn't lost. Sting hasn't lost. Sting is undefeated in AEW in general. So Sting has never lost a match in AEW. But yeah. Why is Marco not with them? I don't know, man. I haven't seen Marco in a while. I know Marco is getting a lot of heat from like your pro WWE fans of being a little more cartoonish of a character. Plus, we don't really know much about Marco Stunt unless you guys do. Like, is he going to school for something? Some of these guys might be going to college while they're doing the wrestling thing. So, doing something like that. Maybe they're getting their degree. Maybe they just want to go to school, or maybe they got some other projects. I know that Adam Cole he does the Twitch gaming with Chris Dinker Dankops. Uh, so he's got some side projects. Who knows what side projects some of these guys have? I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I know he was part of that group. But in a way, I kind of like Marco not being with them because we can take Jurassic a little more seriously, and I'm a huge Luchasaurus fan. Like Nate, I know likes Jungle Boy, but I love Luchasaurus. I think Luchasaurus is so freaking cool. Like it says, I just see him in Sammy's vlogs a lot. Yeah. Well, I've seen a couple of Sammy's vlogs, and dude looks like a cool dude. I think that's why he didn't get the heat for the Me Too or the speaking out comments as much as others have gotten crap for it. Because generally, Sammy Guevara's a pretty cool dude. So it's easier to forgive someone when you know generally they're a nicer person. He's in AEW Dark. Is that Marco that's at AEW Dark? If you say so, I remember that cheeseburger dude from ROH. No, sir. It was funny. If that's the type of gimmick you want to do, yeah, like I guess it could work. Maybe if you did dark or something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't put that on Dynamite or Rampage though. Cheeseburger was funny, but could you imagine Cheeseburger and Marco going against the Bucks? Like that would be funny. He said, "Yeah, Marco. Okay, cool." See, between the three of us, we're the pipeline for wrestling information. It's good stuff. Yeah, I remember Cheeseburger. That was funny. The acclaimed future. Yeah, future like 5 years in the future. I'm sorry, Nate. I know you love your boys acclaim, but they ain't going over on my guys tonight. I'm sorry, buddy. You know I got to go for my Darby and Sting. So, Big Chuck D says Marco changed name to Fries. Cheeseburger fries. That's great. Watch, Josh. You know the spoilers are out already, right? I just gotta look it up because I think they pre-recorded Rampage for tonight, with it being New Year's Eve and all. By the way, guys, I hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve. Like, I get a little triggered, not completely. It's just because when the bottle rockets go up, it's like chew, and then like I dealt with that when I was over in Afghanistan. But other than that, I hope guys you have a great one. Like, freaking, I'm gonna try my best. Still, I'm still hurt because it's freaking toe, but it's getting better. Uh, but yeah, that's about it, man. Unless there's anything else you guys want to talk to. Like, I don't believe in cutting people off. I think everyone should give a chance to talk, uh, and talk as much as they want. Like, that's the thing that I hate about like news shows. They'll come on, they'll interview someone, then they'll finally get a chance to talk. They'll talk for like 20, 30 seconds. They'll put on, oh, we got to go. We ran out of time. I don't want to run out of time. I want everyone to be able to speak what they want. And I know we got a smaller wrestling crowd over here, but we're doing it, man. We're doing it. I've seen some streams where it was me, Aaron, Nate, and we ran the whole freaking thing. Me and Nate ran the chat. Aaron was doing it. So we got 3 people here. And great to have you in my new community, Chuck D. I like your takes. They might be different, a little more old school, but we need old school. And old school paved the way to what we have now. And so I always respect that and appreciate it. Oh, whenever the Batman thing happens, Josh, I'm there. You're going to do Batman, Nate. I'm telling you, you are the best friend in the whole freaking world. Because I know you're Batman fatigue. This is one of those things that I gotta do it because I want to do it, but I don't want to like make it cringe for you because I know you're fatigued. Last week, Hook slapped Cody. Yes, it was awesome. That was after I went off the air, right? I mean, like freaking, why would you not keep that on the air? Because you know that was planned. You know, freaking Hook was. Send Hook. He was going to come out and freaking slap him. Like, freaking, you know it was going to go down. So, like, why not put that on air? Do you know the ratings that would have got? Like, we had to find out later, but, yeah. Hey, not a problem, Chuck. More wrestling fans, the better. We need more wrestling fans. Wrestling fans and interest in the product has dropped so much. Do you realize during that, Chuck, that during the Attitude Era, there were over 8 million people watching WCW and Monday Night Raw? Over 8 million. And now we're down to 2. I don't care who wins the ratings war. I'm happy when lots of people are watching wrestling because I love it and I'm passionate about it. And I love wrestling and I love the storylines. And so I don't care if WWE beats AEW or AEW beats WWE. What I care about is getting, if we had 3 million fans or 4 million fans watching every week, that would be freaking awesome. And I'd absolutely love that. That's what I look forward to. Yeah. And when that happened, let's see. Me too. I was WCW. Sting, Goldberg, DDP. Those are my top 3. I love the Wolfpack. I thought NWO definitely helped, but I was a WCW guy during the war, like straight up. So when WCW ended, I think I cried. Like it's like a funeral for me because I was WCW all the way. Still, I'll always be. And Eric is like one of my favorite guys behind the scenes. Eric is such a creative genius, and I love what he does. Let's see. Wrestling is the way of life. It is. It is. I love wrestling. Continue to love it till I die. Me and you both, brother. Me and you both. And freaking with the Cody thing, you saw when they went off air, Cody's like, oh, you guys can stop booing me now. We're off air. And I'm like, Cody, this isn't kayfabe, dude. They legitimately don't like you and feel like you're acting like Mr. Paul Levesque 2.0 mixed with a little Vince in there. You are not giving the people what they want, and they're taking it personally. This is not an act. This is not kayfabe. This ain't part of the show. They legitimately don't like you because they want something, and you're not only saying you ain't getting it, but basically screw you. I'm not going to give it to you. Cody's disrespecting the fans when he does this. And Cody's a great heel. I can understand if he's a crap heel like The Miz, but freaking Cody's a good heel. Cody's a really good heel. We all saw what he did in ROH and freaking New Japan. Cody's amazing. Why wouldn't he want to do it? Because he wants to be the good guy? He just had a kid. So it's not like they're old enough to recognize him as this superhero. he's letting all this PC identity politics stuff get in his head. And he's thinking that, I know they joke about it online saying that he solves racism, which is funny because no, but freaking, it's like he wants to be the good guy, but that's not what is getting over right now. And it's not his time to be the good guy. You know, I think the thing was everybody expected him to do this forward. I think people expected him to be the leader of the Pinnacle instead of MJF, like him being that spot, and then it didn't happen, and then people are disappointed. But then when he doesn't recognize the disappointment, it's like when Adam Page took time off and they replaced him with Christian. They were pissed. The fans were pissed, but AEW recognized and said sorry. He had to take time off for his family, but eventually he will be back. And so people are like, okay, you acknowledged it. You did not ignore us. Thank you. Cody doesn't do that. Cody's like, oh, they don't like it? Well, I like it, and it's about what I want, not about what the fans want right now. I get what I want, and if they like it, then so be it. Like, and that's the WWE executive mentality. He's acting he claims to be the anti-WWE, right? That was AEW's whole thing, guys. They're the anti-WWE. They're going to do what's right. But Cody's not doing what's right. He's acting just like WWE. But he's supposed to be the anti-WWE. So it's like very hypocritical. Chuck D says, ego problems. He tries too hard. Yeah. The problem is, he says he's self-aware, but the fans don't want him as the heel or as the face right now. And it's not just that. He gives the entrance and everything like he's better than everybody else. What baby face has an entrance like Cody does? Sting don't even have that. Darby don't even have that. And they have these grand Crow Undertaker like entrances. And their entrance isn't as long as Cody's is. So it's just like, every time I see him ride his daddy's coattails. Yeah. Remember when Dustin used to have that issue? Then he broke out and he gave the fans what they wanted and he got over on his own. I love Dustin Rhodes. I don't like the Gold Dust face paint, but I like Dustin Rhodes pretty good. See, Nate says it's always the problem. Yes. I got more respect for Dustin. I don't like Dustin. Yeah, I'm a Dustin Rhodes fan. I like Dustin. I just don't like the Gold Dust stuff. I think he needs to be more real. When Gold Dust doesn't, or when Dustin doesn't have the face paint, I like him. The closest to Cody is Kenny Omega. Dude, when they had their rivalry in Japan, I loved it. Cody as the heel, and then freaking, what's his name? Kenny Omega is the conflicted tweener. I thought it was fine. Oh, like the length of it. Oh my god, like, but that's the thing. That the Kenny entrance was meant to troll us. And like I didn't hate Kenny as much as I hated Justin Roberts for kissing Kenny's ass and wanted to slap the hell out of him. Like freaking from North Carolina. Yeah, like freaking Justin Roberts with that over-the-top Kenny Omega stuff. I hated it, but it was getting heat. That was legit heat. I not only wanted to, it was so annoying that I wanted to slap Justin Roberts and I wanted to freaking punch Kenny and Don Callis in the face for making him do that. So, yeah, like, it worked. It worked. Boo, Nate. Because the Kenny, yeah, because we're talking about the length of entrances, like. Kenny Omega. Yes, exactly. I mean, like, you tell me when Justin Roberts, what's the worst one? The two worst is when he did the Omega stuff and then when he did the Moxley because he tried to make it sound like when he did the John Cena freaking introduction. Jen! Yeah, like freaking, it's terrible. It's terrible. He's like, oh my god. But like it wouldn't end. It wouldn't end the same. He would start out the same and like Jen, and then when he went to Moxley, it was not anything like Cena. He's like Walter. Yeah. So then my bad. I thought you were correct. Nah, freaking, they're different in their own ways. They're both great. Kenny just has that work rate. It's just so freaking good. Cody's more of an entertainer, so he has wrestling ability. But like as far as in ring, you could be dead asleep and waking up from a nap or something like that, and Kenny could entertain the hell out of you by freaking just what he can do in ring. Kenny is so good in ring. He's good with promos too, but his in ring, they're very hard. It's very hard for people to compete with his in ring. He's so riveting in ring. So yeah, it's so annoying. Stan. Yeah, it is annoying. That's what I'm saying, dude. I love Moxley. Like I'm a Shield guy. The Shield is like my favorite faction in the history of wrestling. I am a super Shield simp, and I will admit that. And my favorite was Ambrose Moxley. That's my favorite out of the three. It's Ambrose, then Reigns, then Rollins. And freaking Ambrose was the original leader of the Shield until they wanted to pivot, and then they went to Seth. And freaking, I love Moxley. I've liked anything that he's done, both AEW and WWE, and just been a big fan. So I'm not ragging on Moxley. I'm just saying the entrance is kind of ridiculous. I do like the fact that he still comes through the crowd, especially as a babyface. That's freaking awesome. So yeah. Chuck D says, I like how New Japan Pro Wrestling announcer does it with the high pitch. Yeah, but like that's the difference. New Japan, it's kind of hard to explain. Nate'll know this. New Japan got flavor. Like that's the best way to say it. Like freaking New Japan, they got a little more spice, a little more oomph in everything that they do. And I did not realize that until I watched the bio. I watched a bio of hope I'm pronouncing this right. Atsuka Okada, the Rainmaker. And I've heard of Okada, but I'm like, what's this dude's big deal? Why do people like him? And then I started watching his bio and his music and entrance. And freaking his entrance, and it was just so freaking cool. And I became an Okada fan by watching the bio on him. Like, and I love Okada. I just think he's so cool. He's an amazing wrestler. He has a cool gimmick. He gets it done. He's cool on the mic. Great promo. I love everything this dude does. And like, I wish we could see him in AEW. But if they do bring him in AEW, they're gonna tag him with freaking Cassidy. I don't know about that, man. I think Okada should be like serious. And I like Orange Cassidy, but to put him with Okada. Is somebody else like the freaking Cena of Japan? I heard some people say that Naito was the Cena of Japan. What do you guys think? Nate, you watch New Japan. What do you think, brother? Yeah, like I've heard that argument though, Chuck. Like, yeah. So I just personally I like Okada. I think he's cool. But yeah, I thought somebody said it was Naito because one was like pushed that they didn't. I think it wasn't Kota Ibushi because he did the Golden Lover stuff. It's hard. I don't know a lot about Japan, but I know. Oh, Gorillas of Destiny, aren't they kind of the OGs of Bullet Club? Isn't that Tamatonga Tongaloa? He might still be there. I don't know. Nate has a tendency to do a Batman. 1 minute he's here, next minute he's gone. Oh, there he is. See, I told you. Yeah. Like, Girls Destiny is cool. I'm wondering how much money these guys are making because you know AEW's trying to pitch offers to them. Like, AEW's going to be getting the Briscoes soon. So, you know AEW's trying to snag up that indie talent now. Nate, me and Chuck were talking, and we wanted to know your opinion on it. Who do you think the John Cena of New Japan is? I thought it was Naito, but Chuck D's saying it's Okada. And I wanted to get your opinion on it to see who you think the freaking John Cena of New Japan Pro Wrestling is. I'm half tempted to Google search it. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I didn't mean to connect that. So Kota Ibushi is more like a Cena. Okay, Naito is more of a Bret Hart. Okay. Okay, yeah. So that's why I like Okada. Okay, like because I've seen a little bit, but you guys are more familiar with the Japan stuff than I am. Oh, come on. What's wrong with Okada? He seems cool. Oh, he said, Nate, you cut down steak like that. Maybe Chuck's just not an Okada fan, man. That's it. That's fine. Yes, I have seen Okada entrances. They are straight fire, bruh. Straight fire, bruh. I see what you're saying, Nate. Never liked Okada. Why you like Okada, Chuck? It's okay. We like to hear why people like certain people and why they don't. Like interesting stories. Did he just like never appeal to you, Chuck? That's fine too. That's the beautiful thing about wrestling. There's everything for everyone. And we can like what we want, dislike what we don't. Steamers are the thing. Hmm? What are you talking about? Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. Because it reminds you of Cena. Okay. Yeah. Like kind of like staying on top, not changing up your character, stuff like that. Yeah. Well, looking at it like that, I could completely understand. But yeah, guys, this has been fun. I wanted to get some wrestling in this week. I know we're doing the watch party, but I wanted, and I know Nate's going to be busy, unfortunately, and I understand that. But I wanted to cover some wrestling content, especially with I know you two in this community now. Oh, I understand. I understand why people hate Cena, uh, because that's not really him. Uh, but I wanted to cover some content. I wanted to cover some content today. I know we got a few wrestling fans in the community, and I want to give something different today. I want to give a take, and I want to give you wrestling fans some content that you really like. I don't want to do the same thing. I don't always talk about superheroes and stuff. We can go wrestling. We can go all kinds of content. I want to show that this channel is going to have variety, and if you guys want something, I'm going to give it to you. All right. And I know you guys have been looking forward to the wrestling content. I know Nate has. I know you have, Chuck. And you guys came out, supported me, and I respect that so much for that, and I'm so grateful for that. So I truly wanted to give back and just talk wrestling stuff, have some fun, and I think we did have fun. We have different opinion. Everybody got their favorites. That's cool, and it's fine, and we had a good time. Nobody ripped anybody's heads off, and we're all having fun, just talking about who we like, booking, stuff like that. It's great. But if you like the video, like and recommend it to your friends, maybe get some more subs up. I'm doing amazing. Like this is my second video, and I'm almost at 30 subs, and that's thanks to all you guys. So I appreciate it all, and I'm definitely grateful. Yes, because we have everything else everywhere. No wrestling talk. It is like in the low. I'll agree with that. In the lower levels, it is hard. It is very hard to have that because you have your Fightfuls and your F4W Wrestling Observer, and you have Wrestle Talk. You've got these big names, but on the lower level, it was rare. Like my friend Aaron, he did wrestling, but then he got burned out because he's like, okay, the wrestling thing's doing good. We're getting some traction here, but he didn't get big numbers, and then he started doing watch parties all the time, and like he did a watch party for Raw. All right, okay, do that every now and then, but Raw is going to burn you out real quick if you have to sit there every week. There's some weeks where I skip Raw. Like, I skip Raw twice a month. It's just because it's not worth 3 hours, especially like streaming and stuff like that. Uh, we are going to start. We're going to do. I want to do a watch party. Uh, Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, guys. How would you guys feel about doing a watch party for Dynamite this coming Wednesday? let me know how you guys would feel about that. That's only 2 hours, so it's not a lot of time. We'll go 8 to 10, and I'll just do one watch party this week. We can do reviews off of the other shows, and then we just go from there. Yeah, just you guys hit me up. You let me know what you want to do. Nate, can you post the link for the Discord server? Because I'm not sure what it is. Okay, Chuck says he's good with that. Okay, cool. Yeah, because Nate and I like both shows. Yeah, I'm probably gonna say Dynamite's probably the best out of the three, just because they have more good storylines. But like Nate and I will watch Raw because he's a huge Liv fan, and we like the Liv storyline mostly. So that's why we'll watch Raw. And then SmackDown, I like Bloodline, and I love Roman Reigns, love his stuff, and so that's why I watch SmackDown. So for those storylines, and then because it's on, we'll watch Rampage. But like Dynamite got Sting, and I follow my favorite promotion is any promotion that Sting is with. So yeah, AEW's probably. I think we'll say overall AEW's probably got the best product out of the three shows. But yeah, thanks for joining me today, guys. Trying to see if Nate is going for the link or if his internet cut out again. Yeah, just overall, I don't like everything that AEW does. There's some things that I don't care for, but for the most part, it's pretty good. I love the stuff they're doing with the TBS Women's Tournament. Britt is normally boring, but when she gets in a rivalry with Thunder Rosa, it's straight fire. Like Britt is good when you give her good people to work with. Like when she was in a rivalry with Anna Jay, it was short lived, but it was good. Putting her against Tay Conti wasn't. Yeah, Fate, we're just wrapping it up, buddy. I'm almost done. We're gonna have this is a good introduction, Fate. Wednesday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to do a watch party for AEW. So we can introduce you to AEW and you can see all the wrestlers and start from there. So that'll be good. So we'll do that. We'll do that, and so everybody's good with it. So that way we can start, and that's fresh year because they're gonna be on TBS. This is gonna be the first AEW show on TBS, so it'll be a fresh start. Some fresh rivalries. You got a couple that are still going, but for the most part, and it'll be perfect time to start watching. Since I know you said you haven't watched it in a while. Yeah. Dynamite's like Wednesday night's my favorite night of the week for wrestling. In bed by 9 East. Unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You probably have a lot to do, and you do a lot of streaming, and you probably have a day job or whatever. But I'll figure out a way to do a watch party this time. Maybe we can do catch up or something like that, or maybe I can shoot you out some clips. Yeah, or even if you want to catch like 20 minutes of it with us, then you can do that or something like that. Oh, day job. Hey, Gigs, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, we did a Spider-Man talk in the beginning, and then we did some wrestling talk, and then like most of the chat left, so we could do the wrestling talk. But it was all good. We had fun. Everybody got a little bit of the content that they wanted. So So if I can give everybody something, then I'm happy. You know, and just woke up. Yeah, I woke up like I started the stream at 12:30, and I literally woke up at like 12:15. It's like 15 minutes. I'm like, oh crap, and I overslept. So yeah, definitely. But I wanted to do some Spider-Man talk, and I know the wrestling fans like, dude, we need to cover wrestling. I was like, let me get this. Let me do a little prediction show, and then we'll do like a double stream. And yeah, I've been going for a while for the simple fact that I don't want to cut people off. You know, I love Max and Jarbo and Enosh and what those guys do over there, and they got some great content. But they stick to a time, and I want to let everyone have their voice and be able to talk, and like not say we got to go. You know, we go when we're good. Like as long as you guys stick around and we can have some conversation, then I'll hear you out. I love hearing people out, and we just have fun, just talk. Uh, so that's what we're doing here. Uh, I know, geeks. You have been a little under the weather lately. Definitely praying for you, buddy. Hope you get better. I'm doing well, and I know we haven't. I know we've all been busy. I haven't. Me and you haven't talked that much lately, but I hope everything's doing good. I hope you get back to 100%. That way you can kick Nate's ass in freaking Fortnite. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end it here. Geeks and Fate, you know how to reach me. Chuck, I'm on Twitter. Give me a second. I'm gonna post the link in the chat. So if you want to follow me on there, and then if you ever need to get a hold of me, ask me when my stuff's coming out, stuff like that. We can always that way we can stay in contact. So there's my link right there. Uh, I want to have a guest every time I want to have a guest every time I go on. So probably I got to see who I want to guest next. But yeah, we'll do that. The next wrestling thing, Chuck, if you want to be a guest, you can do that. Because I know when I start doing my. Oh, you just have Discord. Okay. Geeks, do you know what? Do you have the link to the our Discord? If you have the link to our Discord, would you be able to put it in the chat because I'm not sure what it is, or even your Discord, Geeks. Either your Discord or Saggy's Discord or the ones that Han's running. Yeah, yeah. Oh dang, my bad. Let me see because I can jump on YouTube real quick, and I know usually Saggy has it in the description. Uh, See if I can find it real quick. I'm just looking it up right now. Just give me a second, guys. Dang it. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, there's Geeks right there. Oh, there it is. Nate, that's his Discord. Can you send Nate, can you send the link? Oh, you do got the segment. Never mind. Never mind. Sorry guys. Yeah, I was looking for it. Hey, Nate, I was asking, thinking about doing watch party Wednesday for Dynamite. Would you be up for that? Chuck said he would. I was trying to. If you're up for it, then we'll. I'll definitely get it scheduled and everything. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that's the Discord that a lot of us are on. It's really cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, you'd be up for it. Cool, Nate. That's awesome. Okay, so we'll do. I'll do a review this weekend, and we'll do the watch party for Dynamite because I don't want to burn everyone out. And if I have to choose between a day one pay per view watch party and Dynamite, I'd probably do Dynamite because it's got Sting. Sorry, for no purpose. It's got a lot of other great people too, but yeah, I would probably do a watch party for Dynamite before I would day one. There's a 50-50 chance that day one's going to let me down. And I know Dynamite delivers. Not all the time, but like 97% of the time it does. So, yeah. But yeah, so if you guys have any more questions or anything, or just want to talk, I'll be on the Discord. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you, Chuck. It's been awesome getting to know you guys and talking wrestling and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, Nate, it does deliver. Geek says Nate Jimbo wants to 2 versus 2. Me and Saggy. Who's Jimbo tagging with then? Geeks. And how are you and Saggy as a team? Does it compare to you and Maho in freaking Fortnite? So freaking Jimbo wants him versus you and Saggy. Jimbo get cocky now. Yeah, it's a handicap match, but who's handicap, Nate? Because I could see Geeks and Saggy arguing like all the time. There's a private lobby in Fort, so we could battle. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to jump on Fortnite with you guys, but I got PS4 and PS5, so I don't know if that would work because I know Nate has Xbox, and I think Majo, she has Xbox too. So I'm not sure if that would work. But thanks for joining us. I will definitely do the watch party. We'll do a review this weekend. That'll either be tomorrow or Sunday. Yes, that is the greatest Can They Coexist storyline in the history of Can They Coexist. Dude, Nate, we got to do a story. We got to do a storyline of Can They Coexist, dude. I would love it. Like, I'm not even mad about that storyline whenever they do it in wrestling. It's funny now. Like, after Big E, like, freaking referenced it and everything, it's freaking hilarious. So I love it. Oh, let's see. Geek said PS4 and Fortnite. It was I used. So okay. So yeah, I gotta get a headset though. I want to play Fortnite with you guys. I want to play Fortnite with you guys, and I want to get involved. And you guys are my best friends. And I just I can't do it right now because I don't have like the headset and that stuff. Uh, but yeah, definitely interested in that. And like we talk about this Phantom stuff, I'm like, I want to hit up some video games. Like when the new WWE game comes out, I want us all to hit that up. Like I want to do all that, and yeah. But thanks for joining me, guys. It's been a blast. I'll see you sometime this weekend for the review, and you guys have bots. You guys have a great day, and thanks for the support. Like the video. Let's see what he says. And go to the store when I click on the link. One of you guys send before we end here, guys. Have them add you up like your own. Oh yeah, Happy New Year, guys! You have an awesome New Year. Freaking, I'll probably talk to you again, Nate. We always talk. But Chuck, I will just give me 1 second. I'm gonna send you my tag on Discord, and then we can add you into to it from there. Just give me 1 second, because I'm trying to figure all this out. All right, I'm gonna type it right now. All right, so that's me on Discord, Chuck. So just send a request, and I will accept, and then I'll just send you the invite to get into the server from there. And that's how we can get a hold of each other and stuff. So yeah, just use that. Should be good to go. All right, guys. You have a great New Year's. Have an awesome. Thank you for the support. Like the video if you liked it, and take care, and we'll see you next time.